just as it was 27 years earlier when Navy christened another first-time bowl on this very site. Wherever the years ahead lead these 06 grads, the road they've traveled through the last 4 seasons was paved with unprecedented achievement. 26 wins in the last 37 games, 3 straight bowl berths as Commander-in-Chief champions, a career sweep of their rivals from West Point, and a legacy to last a lifetime.
NCAA Soccer, the world's game, now on our turf.
Gets the goal!
Watch NCAA Soccer on CSTV.
For decades, the service academies produce great football. For Navy, legendary names like Staubach, Bellino, Napoleon McCallum, and Eddie Myers made the ground game the signature of Navy football. Fast forward to 2006, Paul Johnson's triple option attack has awakened the echoes in Annapolis. Today, they get a stiff test from one of the best defenses in 1AA in the storied program of the University of Massachusetts. It's Big O versus Big D on CSTV. From Maryland's state capital, it's college football on CSTV. Today, the University of Massachusetts Minutemen travel south to take on the midshipmen of the United States Naval Academy. And a pleasant good afternoon and welcome to Navy Marine Corps Memorial Stadium. I'm Pete Medhurst. It's great to have your citizenship on Football Nation on CSTV. Today, the 1AA Minutemen trying to be like 3 teams in 1AA a week ago, including conference mate in the Atlantic 10, Richmond, who defeated Duke and beat a 1A team here this afternoon. They've got the credentials to do it. We bring in the quarterback, Scott Zolak, soon to be joined by Sheehan Stanwyck Birch down on the sidelines. Scott, a tremendous defensive 11 for UMass, gives them a great opportunity here today against Navy.
Well, they have their hands full today, Pete, that's for sure. But Don Brown, he's a great defensive guru. And Paul Johnson knows, hey, you got a 1AA team coming in here. I was at Georgia Southern at one time. We recruited some great athletes there. So those top programs in 1AA, there's not a huge difference between the 1A teams that are in the mid-level and the 1AA because they do have some great guys.
For Navy last week, it was business as usual on the ground, over 400 yards rushing in a win over ECU.
403 to be exact, Pete, number 2 in the country. They get this thing cranked up with their fullback, Adam Ballard. But you saw James Pinckney last week make some big plays late for East Carolina. They kept hanging around. Navy ended up winning 28-23. But there you see Ballard. He's strong. He gets to the end zone. When the fullback's going, they kick it to the slot backs, guys like Reggie Campbell.
For Navy to be impressive today, not only will Brian Hampton have to be good on the ground, but Scott, he's got to make some plays in the air as well.
149's outstanding for his first career start, but he missed 3 wide-open receivers. He needed to hit 1 home run today for them to beat UMass.
For the University of Massachusetts Minutemen, as we mentioned, they have got 11 on the defensive side of the football that bring the Rydell each and every time. It's a good defensive group for UMass.
As I said, it starts with the head coach, Don Brown, an outstanding defensive guru. He loves to get 8 guys in the box, and you need to do that when you face the triple option. The University of Rhode Island Rams run it, so there is experience there. And James Ihedibu, his strong safety, has a great motor, great nose for the football. Look for him to be up a lot today. 8 guys in the box. This is a defense that gave up 13 points a game last year and gave up only 7 to Colgate last week.
Can UMass come to Annapolis and be another 1AA spoiler? We'll find out next on CSTV Football Nation.
Skillets, axes, spittoons, a garage sale? Try the crown jewels of Football Nation.
Football is a way of life. Live it with CSTV.
Fantastic. Quality. Wow.
Thanks to the latest Bose technology, it is now possible to have, for the first time, the same noise reduction benefits in an on-ear headphone as we achieved in the award-winning Quiet Comfort 2 around-ear headphone. And now you can choose your preferred style, QC2 or the new QC3. Wear them when you fly to experience less noise at the flick of a switch. And create your own private sanctuary. Originally designed for planes, owners tell us about other uses. Less distraction at work, to unwind after a hectic day, or to find your own space.
The sound quality is fantastic. Peace.
Order QC2s or the new smaller QC3s and get the same level of performance. Try them for 30 days with the Bose Excitement Guarantee. You'll get free shipping, and you can make 12 easy payments. Quiet Comfort headphones. Hear the difference Bose technology makes.
I was an offensive lineman for 4 years. I no longer wear pads, but I still carry a lot of weight on my shoulders.
There are over 360,000 NCAA student athletes, and just about all of us will be going pro in something other than sports.
CSTV XXL is your online ticket to over 100 channels of live college sports. From USC to Auburn, BYU to Navy, you'll get hundreds of schools and more than 10,000 events, like games, press conferences, interviews, and more. No matter what sport you love, you'll find it here, live and on demand. CSTV XXL delivers the most college sports ever. Check it out online at cstvxxl.com.
CSTV Football Nation, Massachusetts versus Navy is brought to you by Nissan. Back in Annapolis, the standard flyover this week to Lockheed S-3B Vikings from the Scouts of the Sea. And the Navy midshipmen, that's their cue to come running out for today's game against the University of Massachusetts. Moments ago, Bill Cosby, University of Massachusetts graduate, flipping the coin here this afternoon. And let's throw it downstairs to she and Stanwyck Birch, who caught up with Bill Cosby moments before he took the field.
Well, Mr. Cosby, you've got a lot of success on the athletic field, comedian. What's your one piece of advice for these college football players to achieve success?
I think they need to study and always think in terms of graduate school, always think in terms of a great GPA. And I think one of the greatest feelings that any athlete can have is to be in the best shape he or she has ever been in physically, and to be in the best shape he or she has ever been in mentally.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Captain.
The great Bill Cosby. Matt Harmon to kick off for Navy. Back deep for UMass, Matt Lawrence and Tony Nelson. There you see the returnman. Nelson on the near, Lawrence on the far. As we get set for action here, Harmon approaches the ball, and we are underway on a beautiful sunshine Saturday afternoon in Annapolis. Lawrence from the 2. And a runner reverse coming back to the near side. That is Courtney Robinson. Robinson to the 25-30. He's got an alley. Flag down on the play, though. Robinson is going to take it the rest of the way, but a flag down back at the 31-yard line. A tremendous play on special teams, Scott, to open, but unfortunately for the Minutemen, this one looks like it's going to come back.
One block, Pete, and one block only. They had a middle wedge return set up. 4 guys formed that wedge, and then all of a sudden you get the quick flip. You're going to take a look at the middle wedge. Look at the 4 forming the wedge. Here comes the ball carrier up, and there's the quick flip. Now watch right there. 2 outstanding blocks, and you're going to see the block in the back right there. We saw the flag from up here. We had a great view of it, but UMass, what a way to start the game if they would have hit that.
24, Brian Ellis, reserve defensive back out of Brooklyn, New York, called for the penalty on the play. And now UMass's offense will come back out to the 21-yard line, and the quarterback, Liam Cohen.
University of Massachusetts Minutemen from North Providence, Rhode Island.
Redshirt freshman last year. Had a breakout year, 2,100 plus 100 yards, but he's got some good experience around him. Great tailback. They got to get him going early, Pete.
Cohen looking long on first down, and a tremendous diving catch at the Navy 40-yard line. Rashid Rancher, the junior, with a sprawling catch in Navy territory.
This is something you didn't see last week from East Carolina. Rancher outside, he's 6'5". Watch Cohen, gives him a great chance to catch the ball. Puts it over his outside shoulder. That's a great throw for a young guy, Pete.
Cohen had an outstanding freshman season. The folks at UMass very high on him, and he's a guy that's going to have a chance to put up some good numbers over a 4-year period. Just a sophomore. Cohen on first down. Steve Baylark, a huge hole left side. He's at the 30, 25, into the Navy secondary. Brought down at the Navy 20-yard line. Let's take a look at this starting offense for Massachusetts, who's off to a great start. Up front, Austin, Diana, Miller, Thompson, and Hopkins gets the start at right tackle. Skill people, Baylark, Barthel, Rancher, Omar, and Listorti. There you see Steve Baylark, who Paul Johnson was trying to recruit to Georgia Southern before he got the Navy job. And a motion top of the screen. Cohen, pitch to Baylark. Same play left side. This time the Navy defense diagnoses it. Clint Sovey diving in at the bottom of the pile. Let's take a look at the Navy defensive guys who had a super second half last week against East Carolina. Up front for the mids, Adams, Wright, and Chan. Linebackers, Mahoney, Caldwell, Sovey, the sophomore out of Jacksonville, and Tidwell. Experienced secondary group, McGowan, Price, Little, and sophomore Buffett. 3 guys out of the state of Texas in that secondary. UMass shifts at the line of scrimmage. 2nd down and 9, the ball at the Navy 19. 13-12 to go. Opening stands at Cohen on the slant pattern, and it's dropped. Steve Baylark had plenty of room to run after he caught the football. Scott, the one thing he did was forget to catch it.
That's one of the toughest things to do when you see an opening like he did. He may have taken that to the goal line, but UMass goes empty backfield right there. What that means is there's going to be one guy coming free. Navy sent the house. Good job by Cohen, reading the blitz, and he went to his quick outlet. Baylark should have caught it and scored, Pete.
Tremendous poise for a young quarterback. I mean, that's the one thing that really the UMass people talk about with him.
You got to credit Don Brown for coming out, trying to reverse on the kickoff. I mean, that didn't work. All of a sudden, he goes up top first play. I love the play calling.
3rd and 9. Cohen throws out and caught right at the 10-yard line. And it's going to be, in fact, they're going to spot him out just short of the 10, maybe about a half yard short of the first down. J.J. Moore, the junior from St. Petersburg, Florida, on the catch.
You're going to take a look at Cohen in the pocket. What made this happen was his tailback, Baylark, stepped up, picked up the blitz. But like you said earlier, Pete, great poise for a sophomore.
You see Moore walking off. It's going to be 4th and short, and Don Brown, certainly nothing to lose for the Minutemen here. Going to go for it.
You have to go for it. Your team's on the road, 1 AA. Everybody's picking Navy. You talk about making a statement. You want to come out, you want to score on your first drive. This gives them the best chance. Field goal does nothing.
See what Cohen does behind his big All-American center, Alex Miller. Tight end in motion. Cohen gives it. Baylark dives across the 10. He'll have a first down and goal to go for the Minutemen at the 7-yard line.
You got a back like Baylark, 4th and inches. This guy's entering his 4th season, looking to become the 3rd back in 1 AA. To have 1,000 yards or more in each of his 4 seasons, I mean, that's outstanding. It's just an easy give to the tailback, and he's looking, and great leap, goes over the pile, nothing really there. Great tailbacks do that. When there's not blocking up front, you either lower your shoulder, get the yard, or go over the top.
Cohen to the line of scrimmage. Double tight end, I formation, man in motion, top of the screen. It's Baylark, 2nd man through, bounces off 1 tackle, but not another. He'll get 2 to the 5. It'll bring up 2nd down and goal.
Nice job by linebacker Clint Sovey. He had a great second half, like you said last week against East Carolina. He's the guy that forced this play to the left side, and then the big defensive tackle John Chan. And a good job by Navy swarming on defense, going to the football.
John Chan, Buddy Green, the Navy's defensive coordinator, pointed him out a week ago. Had a super ball game, not only with his play in the interior between the tackles, but his pursuit, relentless pursuit to the ball, even on the outside.
You're taking a look at Clint Sovey right there. Paul Johnson thinks this guy could even be a strong safety. So he's not the biggest linebacker, but he is the fastest and most active.
2nd and goal from the 5. Liam Cohen gives it. 2nd man through it, in for the touchdown for the Minutemen, as they give that ball there to number 19.
Timmy Walsh.
Timmy Walsh, yes. So they take Baylark out and give it to Walsh, and he takes it in for a touchdown.
Now, Timmy Walsh, he's at Syracuse for 3 years, a graduate senior. Watch the play right here. He's going to the outside, sets up the blocks. Boom. Great vision on the cutback. See the end zone look coming right at you in your living room. Good nose for the ball. Talking to a lot of people at UMass this morning. They said you're going to see a lot of Timmy Walsh today. You're going to see him in the slot, see him at tailback, and see him at kick return.
And the extra point is up and good, and UMass does exactly what they need to do. 3 minutes and 15 seconds in, UMass out to a 7-0 lead on Navy in Annapolis. College Football Nation on CSTV.
No. It's too small.
Autoclaustrophobia. It affects more people than you think. But there's hope on the horizon, and it's called the Nissan Versa. Versa provides relief with best-in-class rear seat legroom. Versa keeps you going for over 400 miles on just one tank. Versa will save the world from autoclaustrophobia, one driver at a time. Ask your Nissan dealer if Versa is right for you.
Some people think it's just a game, but to thousands of others, it means more, much more. So this fall, CSTV is sending a few diehard fans out on the road for the trip of a lifetime on Mission SEC Football. These fans will travel more than 8,000 miles and catch 17 total games while experiencing everything that makes a college football season in the South so unique. Follow their mission all season long, on air and online at missionsecfootball.com.
You know, there's a name for people like you.
World champion cowboy?
Well, that depends on how you ride.
Right now, when you buy any other of GoDaddy's hot internet products, you get your .com for just $1.99.
Thanks much, little lady.
Now that looks like a tough ride, but he'll have it easy at GoDaddy.
Just go to www.godaddy.com.
Back in Annapolis, Don Brown got to be happy. His team takes it right down the field. They had a kickoff nullified, a touchdown there nullified. They lead it here. Timmy Washington with a 5-yard touchdown run, 8 plays, 79 yards, 3 minutes and 15 seconds. UMass out to the 7-0 lead.
I like the play calling right off the bat, going up top to the big wideout rancher, using Baylark here and there. And then Timmy Washington, it's a guy they talked about using throughout the course of this game. This guy can do everything. He could be a slot receiver, a tailback, a kick returner. It just gives you another dimension when guys start to key on Baylark. Opens things up for other guys. UMass 7-zip.
Oakland's kickoff. Reggie Campbell circles underneath at the 11. Back to the 15. Straight up the middle. Runs into a couple of players on special teams at the 27-yard line. Navy's first possession, led by their quarterback, Brian Hampton.
My name is Brian Hampton. I'm a senior. I'm the quarterback of the Naval Academy.
149 yards on the ground. We talked about it in the open. 3 wide open wide receivers last week on post patterns. Eventually he's going to need to hit those, and you're down 7-0 right now. This is exactly the way UMass wanted to start the football game. Get some guys in the box, confuse Hampton a little bit, force Navy to go to the pass to beat you.
Man in motion is Singleton. Hampton looking to the roll, and he's hit from behind. Down at the 22-yard line, coming from that right side. Around the end for the University of Massachusetts, James Ehidabu. Take a look at the Navy offensive line. Pritchett, Gallion, Rossi, Harper, and Josh Meek. Skill folks, Ballard, Campbell, Singleton, Tomlinson, and Washington. Reggie Campbell last week with 104. All-purpose against East Carolina. Navy in a hole here. Hampton on the option. Pitches to Campbell. He's at the 30. 35. Taken down near the 36-yard line. Once again, James Ehidabu on the tackle.
Great job. Great job here by Brian Hampton. You're going to see number 23 come down right here. There's the read he's looking for to suck 3 defenders inside. That springs guys like Campbell on the outside, allows them to... Now all of a sudden you're looking at a convertible 3rd and 2 as opposed to 3rd and long. But Reggie Campbell has that extra gear that some of the other backs don't.
UMass crowding that line that time with a lot of defensive backs. 3rd, little more than a yard. Ballard up the middle. He'll push forward for a first down at the 39-yard line. Let's take a look at the Massachusetts defense. One of the best 1AA units in the country. Up front, Hatchell, the great one, Collier, Leonard, and Burris. Linebackers, Walker, Anderson, Hatchell, Anderson not starting today. Belton, Hedeboo, Smith, and Smalls. Anderson, local product out of Urbana High, replaced today by Josh Jennings, who gets the start. Anderson suspended for a game for violation of team rules. McCoy in a short motion. Hampton, good starter step. Has the corner 40, 45, 50. Stiff arms a man down at the 42-yard line. First down, Navy. Officially, they'll spot him at the 43-yard line.
Another good read by Hampton. Talked to Paul Johnson about him last week. He had correctable mistakes. But you see McCoy come in motion. He recognizes outside. Takes away the pitch man. All of a sudden, this is a one-on-one game right now. I have to cut it up. Good job getting outside and getting to the sideline. There's the fake to Ballard right here. And he's looking at the pitch man right there. Taken away. Great cut up.
Byron McCoy, a tremendous block. Put his man on the ground on the perimeter. 1st and 10 for Navy at the Massachusetts 43. Hampton, straight drop, has time this time, loops it out of the backfield for Campbell and throws it short. Second down coming up for the midshipmen. Let's take a look at the keys to the game for the midshipmen here in Annapolis.
Obviously, everything starts with running the football, and that is with the quarterback and especially your fullback, Adam Ballard. They got to get that combo going. It was working last week. We already talked about Hampton. He's got to hit one big play in the passing game, hopefully to Tomlinson. And solid offensive line play. A little bit of a... They actually have an advantage today, Pete. You look at undersized offensive linemen for Navy usually every time we come into one of these games, but they have the advantage today.
Here's the pitch out. Running down the left side, Sean White tripped up in the secondary, but not before he has another Navy first down. Sean White, an exciting young player. Mitt's very excited about on the offensive side, Scott.
Shoestring tackle right there by Brandon Smith, but Sean White last week. Bad pitch by Hampton on the goal line. Here's a great pitch. Gets to the outside. You talk about another guy that has a second gear, a lot like Reggie Campbell. Should have went for 6. It's the reverse option right there. Great job by Hampton. I mean, he had some guy bearing down on his left side. Took a great shot as he released that football to White.
1st and 10, Singleton on the quick pitch, running right side. Trey Hines out in front of the play. Dives across the 20 to the 19. It'll be a gain of a yard. Fans, CSTV would like to extend a very special welcome to the servicewomen and servicemen around the world watching today's game on the American Forces Network. We appreciate all that you're doing to defend our country, and we hope you enjoy today's game. 2nd down, 9 coming up from the 19. Navy puts twin receivers to the bottom of the screen. Hampton on the option. Pitches to Campbell. Campbell to the 20, runs out of one tackle, skips past another man, into the secondary, breaks out of another, but he steps out of bounds at the 8-yard line, and UMass going to be nailed for a late hit on the play.
Reggie Campbell just shook 6 UMass defenders on the outside, and Jamesy Hedeboo, their big, strong safety, took a great shot right here on Brian Hampton. But here's, take a look at Reggie Campbell taking the pitch. There's one.
After the play. Personal foul, 26 defense. Half the distance to the goal, first down.
You saw the late hit right there, and that's tough right there because Reggie Campbell looks like he was still going for the end zone. Couldn't tell if he was out of bounds, but he did step out of bounds. 7 total UMass defenders right there.
Amazing run by Reggie Campbell. Tracy Belton, local product out of Landover, Maryland, called for the late hit on the play. Sets up Navy 1st and goal from the UMass 4-yard line. Hampton, strong side right, runs it to the right, breaks out of a tackle, dives across the goal line for a touchdown. So the Navy quarterback who ran for 149 a week ago gets off to a good start here as he runs Navy into the end zone for its first touchdown of the day. So both teams now scoring on their first drive.
Well, Brian Hampton, not only the quarterback of this Navy football team, he's also the holder. Noticing right now that they're missing one guy. Good job, good heads up. That's the first thing the holder does. You got to count your guys up front. Make sure you have 9. Count yourself and the kicker.
Matt Harmon on for the extra point. Line drive low, and he puts it through. So Harmon kicking instead of Bullen. Navy gets the extra point. In Annapolis, Brian Hampton carries Navy into the end zone and ties things up at 7 on CSTV.
was an offensive lineman for 4 years. I no longer wear pads, but I still carry a lot of weight on my shoulders.
There are over 360,000 NCAA student athletes, and just about all of us will be going pro in something other than sports.
Need a hand?
No, I need a new car.
Whoa, I see what you mean.
Aren't you the 1-800-BAR-NONE sock puppet?
Yours truly.
Could they help me?
Sure. If you need car financing, even if you have bad credit, 1-800-BAR-NONE could get you approved in minutes. Going up.
1-800-BAR-NONE? You can? I am? Really?
Need a car, not a tow? Then call 1-800-BAR-NONE.
Our hero.
Mommy, can we keep him?
Everyone deserves a second chance. Bar none. Call now.
If the first two drives are any indication, we got a dandy setting up here. Massachusetts and Navy all tied up at 7-7. You see Brian Hampton, the Navy offense, all 73 yards on the ground, 9 plays, 73 yards, 3 minutes, and 16 seconds. The midshipmen tied things up. There you see Matt Harmon. He is kicking for Joey Bullen today, who is out with a strained groin. If this game stays close, it could be a critical factor. His kick goes into the end zone, and coming out with it is Nelson. Nelson at the 10, up to the 20, taken down at the 21-yard line. Let's go downstairs. She and Stanwyck Birch on the week 1 success of the 1AA.
Well, you know, last weekend, the 2006 college football season was very surprising with those three Division I AA teams, Richmond, Portland State, and Montana State, all having wins over Division 1A teams. Now, UMass wants to keep the streak alive, but Navy coach Paul Johnson has assured us that they've not taken UMass lightly and that they prepared for them just like any other team on their schedule.
Thank you, Shannon. No question, Navy has had their problems with Atlantic 10 teams, losing to Delaware and had a struggle with Northeastern a couple of seasons ago. Here's Cohen on first down. Baylor steps through left side. Talented run by Steve Baylor, jumping over a tackler. Going to gain nearly 7 up to the 28-yard line. Let's take a look at Steve Baylor on the first drive for UMass.
Watch the block by Barthel right there.
This time, tight end in motion. Gives it Baylor. You talk about Barthel leading the way. Helps to have a guy 6'1", 240 in front of you as you're running through the holes.
A guy that doesn't mind it, because that means he's usually not allowed to touch the football. You love those big blocking fullbacks.
Play action rollout on 2nd and 3. They dump it to the tight end, Brad Listorti, and Listorti will have a first down up near the 38-yard line is where they'll spot it. 1st and 10 for the Minutemen.
Liam Cohen did a nice job here. You talk about a guy that's right-handed. For a young kid to reverse fake, pivot to his left, he's got to get his shoulders around, and he had a nice touch on that football. Didn't make it a difficult throw for the big tight end. But so far today, Pete, the sophomore quarterback has really impressed me. He seems poised, came out and hit his first home run, got the ball deep down the sideline, accurate throw, and that's what he has to do consistently today. No turnovers.
1st and 10 for the 38, Cohen. Second back through, flag down on the play as Lawrence, the Connecticut transfer, going to lose a yard on the play back to the 37. The flag from the umpire usually means one thing, and that is holding. And ACC referee Tom Zamorski says holding against the Minutemen. Let's take a look at the keys to the game, Scott, for the Minutemen of the University of Massachusetts.
Well, it couldn't have worked out any better for them on the first drive. They almost scored on the kick return.
Holding, 71 offense, 10 yards to the previous spot, still first down.
You see right there, score early and often. They've already done that. They need maybe a field goal or a touchdown here and take advantage of the receiver's height. That's what they did on the outside and ride Steve Baylock. I look for them to do that all day and then give you the dose of Washington after you've seen enough of Baylock.
Critical holding call there against Chris Hopkins, who is filling in today for Sean Colicchio, the sophomore right tackle who is out for the Minutemen. So Hopkins coming in with a penalty on the first drive here, or the second drive, I should say, for the Minutemen. Brings up a first down back at the 28-yard line. 1st and 20 for the Minutemen. Tight end to the left side, strong side of the formation. Cohen gives it to Lawrence. Left side, 30, maybe the 31. John Chan, 95. First on the scene for the midshipmen. It'll bring up 2nd and long.
Almost a version of the Navy triple option. You saw the actual give to the tailback, and then you're bringing one of the slot backs around for the reverse fake. So it looks like UMass is starting to set something up here. Look for them to fake it next time, maybe go to the reverse, and maybe even a deep play action fake off the top of that.
Going to bring up 2nd and 17, ball at the 31-yard line here for the Minutemen. And for a team like UMass, they can't have those kind of penalties on 1st down, putting them in long yardage situations. Spread formation to the right this time. Cohen throws outside, and a juggling catch by J.J. Moore at the 35-yard line. The junior from St. Petersburg picks up 4 at the 35. Back in Annapolis, Maryland, 2 o'clock Eastern time at the University of Massachusetts. Ranked in the top 10, taking on the Navy midshipmen, winners over ECU a week ago. Pete Medhurst, Scott Zolak, she and Stanwyck Birch hustling down on the sidelines in that hot weather today, and already the offense is off to a great start, Scott.
Oh, you look at the average per play for UMass, 9.6 yards, but you don't want to do anything stupid right here. Maybe throw a screen pass, or if you want to take a shot, go up top the Rancher again. He's 6'5".
See what the sophomore quarterback does here on 3rd and 13. Pressure from Tidwell coming. He gets it out to Lawrence on the near side. Lawrence runs into 4 blue shirts. End of drive at the 38-yard line. And UMass will have to punt.
That's okay for Cohen right there. He's looking downfield, didn't see anything, didn't force it, felt the pressure, felt the pocket collapsing around him, and went to the dump off. That's okay, because now you punt it away, and now it becomes a field possession game.
That'll bring on Christian Kogel, the punter.
Especially when you have a punter like this.
Big weapon, NFL ability here for Kogel. Jason Tomlinson back deep for Navy. Kogel handles a low snap, gets the kick away. Tomlinson, fair catch. It bobbles, and he falls on it at the 31-yard line. That ball went right through his arms. So Jason Tomlinson avoids a big mistake for Navy. Mids will have it when we come back. It's Navy 7, Massachusetts 7 on CSTV.
Next on CSTV, it's one of college football's greatest rivalries as Colorado takes on Colorado State. Don't miss this Rocky Mountain showdown where CSU will come in hungry for revenge after the Buffs come from behind win last year. Watch Colorado versus Colorado State coming up next. Football is a way of life. Live it with CSTV.
Expensive custom frames and costly protective laminates? Not anymore. Now create temporary graphics or get temporary protection with Duplicolor's hot new Car Art and Shield. With Car Art, add flames, scallops, or street graphics for the weekend. And with Shield, protect your vehicle's trouble areas from bugs, rocks, and road grime. Car Art and Shield are easy to use, dry in less than a minute, and with a simple wash, leave no residue. Start creating and protecting today with Duplicolor's Car Art and Shield. Go to duplicolor.com to find the retailer nearest you.
A new season is beginning, and so is CSTV's Crystal Ball, presented by Xbox Live, the show that gazes into the future of college sports, bringing you the hottest stories, teams, and players throughout the college football season. If you have a question, Crystal Ball has the answer. Watch Crystal Ball, presented by Xbox Live, every Wednesday at 7, only on CSTV.
Energizer E-squared lithium batteries let you take up to 630 photos in digital cameras versus up to just 90 with leading ordinary alkaline batteries. Energizer E-squared lithium keeps going and going.
Back in Annapolis, 7-7. Teams running like the Energizer Bunny here so far. Let's take a look at our trivia question for today. Involves a very talented player. Who holds the Massachusetts record for most career rushing yards, Mr. Zolak? I'll give you one clue.
He's currently in the NFL.
Yes, he does.
Arizona.
You're on the right track.
Okay.
Big yardage at UMass and in 1AA. Brian Hampton on 1st down. Pump fake, throws over the middle, and it's intercepted. A tremendous play in the secondary, making the catch. Tracy Belton making up for the late hit call he had earlier. Made a huge catch over the shoulder there, Scott, almost one-handed.
Yeah, this is one of the toughest things when you run the pass off the option. It's a very forced play by Hampton. Didn't give him many reads. They're trying to pop it to the quick slot right there. So it's a quick fake to his right. He pulls up, doesn't really look where he's going with the football. He should have pulled that down and ran with it.
There you see Belton. There's about 20 minutes here from Navy Marine Corps Memorial Stadium in Landover.
Unless that one, Pete, just got completely away from him. We saw it last week where he kind of pulled the string on 3 of his throws. He's such a strong guy, and that's what concerns Paul Johnson is, he's going to get better as he plays.
Baylark up the middle on 1st down. Dives near the Navy 40-yard line. Last week, Scott, Navy, of course, had a turnover problem of its own, especially in the second half.
Oh, they really did. Some sloppy play off the option. But East Carolina really didn't take advantage of it, and that was huge for Navy because they hung in. They wore them down, 403 yards. Thought this was going to be a big one right here.
If Eskridge would have been able to stay on his feet for East Carolina, he might have been able to take that to the house and make a game-changing play. Coming up to the 40-yard line for the University of Massachusetts. Second down, just over 3. Screen it to Rancher out in the flat. Keenan Little comes up to make a super open field play. It'll bring up 3rd down and 1 for UMass.
Great job by Little right there. It allowed him to get Rancher tied up and allowed Tyler Tidwell to get out there on the outside.
So big play coming up here for the Minutemen of the University of Massachusetts. Ball spotted at the 39. Officially, they need to get to the 37. 3rd down and 2 coming up. There you get a look at Keenan Little, the senior out of Boiling Spring, North Carolina, and Crest High School.
Probably one of the most athletic guys on that defense, has a 36.5 vertical leap. Turned down a lot of scholarship offers from ACC schools to come here and play at Navy.
Man in motion across the formation. Cohen gives it second back through Baylark, and he will have a 1st down. In fact, they're going to say his knee hit down back at the 37, so we may even get a measurement here from Tom Zamorski's crew.
That's what he's calling for right now. But Navy defensively needs to get a stop here. Anytime you turn the football over on your side of the field, you put your defense in a real tough position. Navy trying to come out and throw the ball more on 1st down this week than they did last week. Last week they stuck with their game plan, ran a triple attack option.
Put the stick down, and man, you get the credit card out there. Tom Zamorski takes a look, and he says it's that much. Little pinch between your cheek and gum, as Walt Garrison used to say.
He's going to have fun spotting this.
Now Don Brown went for it obviously earlier on 4th down. They got it. They'll do the same thing here. Bring in big guys. Another tight end. Lawrence comes into the ball game. Interestingly, they take Barthel out of the ball game. Cohen's over at the sideline looking for a play.
There's some confusion going on right now. Look for them to possibly call a timeout here. You don't want to screw this up, end up a 4th and 6 and be forced to punt.
Cohen alertly looking at the scoreboard clock to our right to see how much time he had on the game clock as he came back to the huddle. Massachusetts, Cohen gives Lawrence. That's good.
He didn't get it. He didn't get it, Pete.
If the line judge on the near side is any indication, Scott, I think you're right. Yeah, they're going to have to measure this again.
Maybe UMass should have called timeout there. Looks like they didn't know really what play was coming in. Good job by Cohen, though, getting the play out, being aware of the clock. I mean, Navy from the get-go, you look at the left side of that line. Is that John Chan, Big John Chan?
Chan and David Wright, also Larry Silk in there. They spun the tackle Hopkins around right into the hole.
Oh, he did get it.
Got it by the tip of the football, so he got approximately 3 inches on that play.
He only needed 2.
That's right.
Three's
Fortunately for UMass, he only needed 2.
But that's a great play by John Chan. Very disruptive last week. Had 3 plays behind the line of scrimmage, forced East Carolina into some bad plays.
Don Brown's team now 2 for 2 on 4th down. There you saw Paul Johnson looking on as his team is locked in a good one here. 7-7, 2:40 clock moving. Cohen, play action, looking deep, throwing for the end zone for more. Diving catch, touchdown UMass! Liam Cohen could not have led that football any more perfect than that. And J.J. Moore, the junior out of St. Petersburg, with a highlight film catch, and UMass has the lead.
J.J. Moore with the big catch. He's playing today because Brandon London is out. He's suspended. Just a little, he disregarded the play action fake right there. Cohen felt the pressure, stepped up. For sophomore Pete, that's a heck of a throw. Watch the combo route on the outside. You see Moore, he kind of lollygags right there, sees the throw. That's a nice job by Cohen, laying it out there, allowing him to get the speed to go get it.
He ran right by senior Clay Carter out of Sugar Land, Texas, and made a terrific catch. There you see J.J. Moore right there with a 37-yard touchdown reception. And the Minutemen sending signal to their Atlantic 10 brethren in New Hampshire. Hey, we're going to be around for the whole season, guys.
Well, this is what we had to do. We talked about it in the pregame for UMass to be successful today. Score early, score often, and we were thinking maybe a field goal, maybe a touchdown, but to put 14 up on the board, we're still here in 2.5 minutes left in the first quarter. This is huge for Don Brown's club.
Yeah, UMass now leading it by a score of 14-7. UMass pep band picking it up. And you see Don Brown stressing to his guys, hey guys, it's still first quarter. Nothing's been won yet.
That's right, defense. Get on the defense now, and he is the defensive guy. Very concerned that they gave up that drive to Navy with the late hit, setting that up, puts Navy in good field position. Brian Hampton did what he did last week, followed his big fullback out. Adam Ballard up, tied it up. But right now, defensively for UMass, you're thinking we got to get a stop here, get the ball back with a 7-point lead. Then you get Navy really thinking.
For Paul Johnson, we've seen him. We saw him on first down. You mentioned earlier Navy passing a lot on first down, trying to get something going for Brian Hampton in the air. Well,
there's certain ways you can do it. You could do it with little quick passes down the line of scrimmage to receivers. You could do it with screen passes. In all my years doing Navy football, you haven't seen them set up a lot of screen passes. They like to run the fullback, get it on the outside, and then run that student body toss to one of their slot backs, or you just do a quarterback keeper. Not a lot of screen passes. Those are little ways you could get a young quarterback. And Brian Hampton's not a young quarterback. He's just a big, strong guy, not used to throwing the ball a lot.
Copeland kicks off. High kick again short. Campbell this time from the 8. Campbell at the 15. And stood up on special teams at the 18-yard line. Eric Dixon getting down, the redshirt freshman out of Southbridge, Massachusetts. Let's take a listen to UMass head coach Don Brown.
The uniqueness of their offense is a major challenge as they run the Georgia Southern spread bone, which is difficult to get ready for, not only in the offense itself, but getting your scout teams ready to give your defense that look. And, obviously they're improved in all areas defensively. They've certainly improved as well. They've played tough with everybody last year. And again, they've had a nice run the last 2 years under Coach Johnson.
On first down, Ehedebu comes in and deflects the pitch, and Reggie Campbell has to cover it up back at the 6-yard line.
If this game continues on this pace, Brian Hampton is going to have nightmares about James Ehedebu coming down the line of scrimmage, being in the backfield. Watch Hampton turn, and here, this guy coming in on your left side is Ehedebu. Does a nice job getting between Hampton and Campbell, and this the second time this has happened in 2 games. Hampton gets a pitch deflected back into the backfield. Last week, East Carolina covered that up. If they would have turned that football right over, that's 1st and goal from the 6.
Here's Hampton, option coming this way again. Near side, trying to get outside and does run out of bounds at the 18-yard line. Scott, on that play, though, it appeared as if the pitch relationship, which has to be perfect in option football, very close together, Hampton and Campbell on that play.
Yeah, and right there, he's got to realize that Ehedebu is somewhere gauged in between them two, and he needs to keep it. And this is the way you make up for it right here. You got the reverse option right there, taking away the pitch. Hampton cuts it up inside, picks up about 8 yards.
So to bring up 3rd down, 12. The ball just across the 17, maybe right up on the 18-yard line now as they move it forward. Hampton, 3-step drop, looks into the slot, and he had a man, and it's dropped. Tomlinson drops the football at the 30-yard line. So if Hampton's not on target, this time his receiver drops the football. Yardage in the air game right now, eluding Navy.
Well, and that was a 95-mile-an-hour fastball right there. You got a guy coming on a quick slant route. You got to throw that ball right in the numbers, make it a catchable ball for Tomlinson. You got to get Tomlinson going. So many times last year he was their big play guy on a post corner route when Lamar Owens would go back off the option and hit him on some home runs.
On the punt, Moore back of the 45, goes one way, goes back toward the top of the screen, and is taken down on special teams. Back of the 42-yard line, Clint Sovey, Reggie Campbell rolling off the pile for the Mids. Folks, stick around. Football Nation all day long as our triple header continues into the wee hours of the night. Coming up next, we've got two high-octane showdowns, starting with Colorado State, their annual rivalry from Invesco Field in Denver at 5 Eastern. And then the entertaining game, get the calculators out for this one, Texas Tech and UTEP at 9. Football is a way of life. Live it with us here at CSTV. What's the over and under? Maybe 85 for that Texas Tech UTEP game?
75.
On first down, Baylor stood up at the line of scrimmage by Navy's All-American linebacker candidate, Rob Caldwell. Let's take a look at the success UMass had on their previous drive to take this 14-7 lead.
Well, 2 drives, and here you are at the conversion on 4th down. Did he get it? Did he not? Well, according to the side judge, he did, and that got him going. And here's the play fake by Liam Cohn. Fills the pressure in the pocket, and a nice job by Moore coming off his go route. Cohn just laid it out there for him to go get it. There's the numbers right now, 7-8, 102 yards on the road with 1 touchdown.
Navy losing safety Keetrick Buffin. He is out. Clay Carter was in on that play, and now they bring in Jeremy Miles, a freshman out of Sicklerville, New Jersey, in Winslow High, and the quarter will run out right there. A dynamite quarter for the Minutemen of the University of Massachusetts. Don Brown's team leading it here by a score of 14-7. Good offense from both sides. UMass with the ball when we come back on CSTV.
For those in the academic, medical, cultural, and research fields beginning to think about their financial future, we're TIAA CREF. We have more than 85 years expertise building retirement plans just for you. Let our experience and personalized, objective advice help you meet your retirement goals, starting today. TIAA CREF, financial services for the greater good.
As a proud Earthlink employee, I swear I'll do my part to help protect you from bad internet.
Spam, viruses,
Fisher sites,
pop-ups everywhere.
Things that waste your time. I promise we're going to give you good tools to protect your children.
Spam blocker, spyware blocker, pop-up blocker, virus blocker.
Free blocking tools, free protection features. That's Earthlink High Speed. Right now, get Earthlink High Speed for as low as $12.95 a month.
I promise you speed.
It's like lightning.
Earthlink is blazing fast.
Move to Earthlink, and I'll do all I can to get you a high-speed internet. It goes up to 70 times faster than dial-up.
I would say that a geek gets it done and a nerd doesn't, and we're geeks.
I love working for Earthlink.
And when you call Earthlink customer support, I promise to treat your problems like my problem.
More speed, more security. Call 800-828-4758 or visit these retailers. Get the first 6 months of Earthlink High Speed for as low as $12.95 a month. Earthlink, we revolve around you.
Education of midshipmen through character development programs that stress the highest ideals of duty, honor, and loyalty. Navy also has a rich history of athletic achievements in a variety of varsity sports. The United States Naval Academy is where America develops leaders who will serve the nation. It is where the core values of honor, courage, and commitment are nurtured, and where the vision of America's future is shaped.
There you see the pageantry of the daily life of the midshipmen here at the United States Naval Academy. Some of the great things that they go through, some of the great architecture of the yard of the Naval Academy. Back here at Navy Marine Corps Memorial Stadium, there you see the offensive coaching staff talking to Brian Hampton and his unit. As the Mids trail here by a score of 14-7, the Massachusetts Minutemen have come to town and they mean business. They've got the football, 2nd and 10 at the 43-yard line. Cohen back to throw, swings it out to Lawrence, makes the nice catch out in the flat, up to the 50, across the 50 to the 48. He'll be about a half a yard short. It'll bring up 3rd down at less than a yard.
That was a great read by Cohen. Mahoney and Tidwell coming hot to that right side. When you say hot, that means unblocked. He had 2 unblocked pass rushers coming at him. Quickly recognized it, went to the dump, and if he doesn't recognize that, he gets sacked there. Then you're talking about 2nd and 16. But this is why UMass is in control of this football game right now.
And again, they keep coming up with 3rd and short yardage situations. This one is a 3rd and 1. They need the 47. The ball at the 48-yard line. Cohen going to have to burn a timeout here, and he does at the 14-18 mark. Make it 14-17 mark now of this 2nd quarter. We'll take a timeout. The University of Massachusetts with a big 3rd and 1 coming up in Navy territory. Mass 14, Navy 7 on CSTV.
Did you hear that crowd? Don't get nervous.
Oh, the wraparound. There's nothing sweeter than the wraparound. Here, tell you what.
Wait, hold on.
It'd be 3 guys there and the goalie.
Was that the 5-hole? You really have to learn about that.
You don't even know what the 5-hole is.
Yeah.
You just heard that term on SportsCenter yesterday.
The gap between your legs.
I call this the anaconda because I wrap it around your heart and squeeze off hope.
NHL 2007. Rated E10 for ages 10 and up. EA Sports. It's in the game.
Brace yourself for another CSTV Saturday triple header. Next Saturday at 6 p.m., the action is hot and heavy in the SWAC as Arkansas Pine Bluff invades Alabama State. And at 12 a.m., the Delaware State Hornets take on Northwestern State. But it all gets underway at 2:30 when Big East upstart South Florida squares off against Conference USA favorite Central Florida. Don't miss CSTV Saturday triple header starting at 2:30 with South Florida and UCF. Football is a way of life. Live it with CSTV.
Impossible. It's never too early to start reading to your kids. Are you prepared for what awaits you? There are amazing possibilities when you open a child's mind to reading. Log on to the Library of Congress website and let the journey begin.
Third down and 1 coming up for the University of Massachusetts. The Brigade of Midshipmen looking on in stunned amazement right now as Massachusetts trying to become the 4th 1AA team this year to beat a 1A. Third down, less than a yard. They need the 47. Cohen whistles blowing. Illegal procedure, UMass.
Yeah, what UMass did there is they shifted the tight end from the left to the right. It confused the receiver on the right side. He should have stayed on the line of scrimmage, ended up stepping off.
82 offense. 5-yard penalty, still 3rd down.
Scott, explain there to the formation there for the folks at home who may not be as keen on football. The last guy on the line of scrimmage in that situation needs to be up on the line of scrimmage. If he covers up the tight end,
exactly, and it was a false start on the tight end, number 82. What he did, he lined up on the left side before the snap. Once Liam Cohen got into his cadence, he got up, moved to the right side, and then all of a sudden the 2 receivers recognized that, hey, we have to uncover the tight end. So they both moved at the snap, and just mass confusion for the UMass offense.
UMass perfect today on 4th downs, 0 for on 3rd. Another flag down at the start of the play. Cohen, Lawrence out in the flat, runs by Sobey, but Adams and McGowan come up to make the stop for Navy.
I think you're going to have the same call here down on the left side. I think they're trying to be too cute right now as far as formations.
It's got an ACC officiating crew. Navy is an independent for their home games. Uses a crew from the ACC.
Illegal formation against the offense. 5-yard penalty. Yeah, you can do that. All right, I didn't give you the option. Illegal formation against UMass. Penalties refused. It's 4th down.
There.
Take a high angle look at it right here, and you can see nobody's covered. You need to get one of these guys need to get up here on the line of scrimmage. That's the key. You got 3 guys off the line of scrimmage without a tight end to that side. One of those receivers needs to move up. I mean, UMass, they came out with the regular stuff, regular personnel, and they were taking it to Navy in the first 2 drives. Now, all of a sudden, they go empty a little bit, 3 wide receivers. You know, they don't need to do that.
Kogel on to punt. Lefty boot is away. Nice high kick. That thing turns over. That's a thing of beauty, but unfortunately for Kogel, it's a 50-yard punt into the end zone. Maybe he'll have it at the 20. Scott, let's go back to the trivia question. Whereas last week's was a little bit tougher, I think you're right on the money here. Who holds the Massachusetts record for most career rushing yardage?
I think that ship has sailed.
That's absolutely right. There you see Marcel Ship.
UMass career rush yards leader. Steve Baylark trying to be that guy. You talk about some of the backs. Marcel Ship, 6,250 yards. Gary Pearson, another guy, and there's Baylark. He's got a long way to go.
Shows you just how good Ship was. Ballard up the middle on first down. Just his second carry of the day. He'll get up across the 21, maybe the 22 for a gain or 2. And ironically, too, take a look at Adam Ballard.
You know, this is the fullback that every one of his big starts, the last 4 starts, especially the bowl game, the Poinsettia Bowl last year, 129 yards against Colorado State. Didn't really touch it that much last week against East Carolina, but he almost got 100 yards. And they've kind of gotten away from him in the first couple series here. They need to get back to giving it to Ballard, and he sets up Reggie Campbell on the outside.
Hampton on the reverse pivot. Stutter steps, and he is eaten alive behind the line of scrimmage. Back at the 18-yard line, Brandon Smith coming up, the senior out of Bayonne, New York.
Yeah, good job by Smith supporting the run right there. That was a poor read by Hampton. He could have pitched that to Ballard because Reggie Campbell was doing a little return motion. He had the blocking set up outside on the perimeter. Ballard could have run for at least 10 yards.
Smith out of Bayonne, New Jersey, just correct that. And it'll bring up 3rd and long yardage here for the midshipman. Paul Johnson shaking his head, trying to get something going.
They really have Brian Hampton thinking right now, you know, where's Ahead-Abu? Is he coming? Where's Smith? They're really causing some havoc in that backfield.
Here's Hampton, straight drop, under pressure, rolls out to his left, pulls it down. He needs one block on the perimeter, didn't get it. He'll be short of the first down. So Navy will have to punt here, as it'll bring up a 4th down and about 3.
You know, these are the tough spots where Brian Hampton is going to be forced. You watch the pump fake right there at the line of scrimmage. That freezes the defender, allows him to get outside. But 3rd and long is not what Navy wants to be in. They need to get the option attack going, create some 2nd and shorts, 3rd and shorts, and that's where you get the 14, 16 play drives that we saw last week against East Carolina.
Greg Vitetto on to punt for Navy. Gets it away. Moore, 39, makes the fair catch, and that's where the University of Massachusetts will take it right there. 11 minutes, 34 seconds to go in quarter number 2. UMass leading in Annapolis 14-7 on CSTV.
Energizer E-squared lithium batteries let you take up to 630 photos in digital cameras versus up to just 90 with leading ordinary alkaline batteries. Energizer E-squared lithium keeps going.
Next on CSTV, it's one of college football's greatest rivalries as Colorado takes on Colorado State. Don't miss this Rocky Mountain showdown where CSU will come in hungry for revenge after the Buffs come from behind win last year. Watch Colorado versus Colorado State coming up next. Football is a way of life. Live it with CSTV.
Yeah, I have a little attitude, but I've earned it. I've put in the hours. I practice every day. I've learned from the best, and I have no doubt that I can play at the highest level. Right now, I'm guessing I'll end up in either Chicago or New Orleans. Most good jazz musicians do.
There are over 360,000 NCAA student athletes, and just about all of us are going pro in something other than sports.
Tom Lemming's Generation Next, the only weekly national college football recruiting show. Get the inside track on what the top recruits are doing and where they'll end up.
He's got the size, the balance, the strength, the speed.
Tom Lemming's Generation Next, presented by Under Armour, every Thursday at 7:30, only on CSTV.
Back in Annapolis, the University of Massachusetts leading Navy by a count of 14-7. Last week, it was a lot cooler, that's for certain. Let's go down to Sheehan Stanwyck Birch.
You know, guys, I'm telling you, it is very hot down here. I'd say it's about 10 degrees warmer than it is outside the stadium, and it's really affecting the players. On the Navy sideline, they've got these jumbo fans that's cooling them down. But UMass, the sun is beating down right on them. They've got some ice hoods on their head. They're squirting water bottles in their cleats, trying to cool down, but it's definitely going to put effect, and we're only in the second quarter.
Great ground level shot on the field turf there. Shows you the heat across the ground they're playing in. 1st and 10, 39. Lawrence, the fullback, wrapped up after a gain of just over a yard.
Talk about the heat at some point, you know, is it affecting the ball because the ball all of a sudden becomes more slippery once the guys start to carry it more, and they rotate about 10 footballs in this game. You're using the option, you know, when Hampton's faking it, when he's pulling it out, I don't think it affected any of the pitches. I just think it was just flat out UMass has got their number now defensively. I mean, it's just no rhythm right now with the Navy offense.
2nd down, the ball at the 40. 2nd and 9 for the Minutemen. Strong side, right side of the formation. Twins to the bottom. The give, Baylor, left side, runs through a tackle, gets up near the 47-yard line. He'll be 2 yards short of a first down. It'll bring up third down.
That's a very good run on second down, just a little off-tackle play. Steve Baylor has great vision. You know, for a guy his size, pick him up, put him down. He still has a burst. It's just a quick little give off the left side, but good job by the big center right there.
Alex Miller, great player for the Minutemen, going to be a 1AA All-American more than likely.
Preseason A-10 first team.
Local product out of Chantilly High. Here's a reverse on third down, trying to step through and not getting it done. Keemon Bailey, the freshman wide receiver out of Richmond, Virginia, in the good program at Huguenot, but not getting the first down here. 2
series in a row, UMass trying to get cute, doing things that I don't think they really need to do. They have the big-time backs, they got the big-time receivers. And Cohen has showed them no reason that he really needs help, as to where they got to trick Navy into thinking they're doing something else.
It's almost as if Scott is Massachusetts.
You're thinking too
we're
much.
Up 7, and man, we got a real chance to put them away right here.
You almost outthink yourself. It seems like you got to be creative where you really don't. Just stick with what got you down the field in the first 2 drives. They've totally gotten away from that, Pete.
Kogel on to punt. Gets it away. Tomlinson at the 10. Gets a great block. Looks to get it outside, and he'll get it back near the 20-yard line. Good job there by Jason Tomlinson. Navy's defense, some great linebackers, and one of the very best, that young man right there, David Mahoney.
David Mahoney, senior, outside linebacker. One thing you don't know about me is when I was young, my parents put me up for the first auditions for the Barney show before it was aired, and I didn't make it. I'm kind of glad it did.
Last week we had Brian Hampton trying to be the Oscar Mayer Wiener guy. David Mahoney trying to be the Barney guy, and a new quarterback for the Mids. Super K into the ball game. Kaipanoa, Kehaku, and Hada. Hands off to Matt Hall, gets it up to the 23-yard line. 3 yards on first down. This young man right here, look at that long name. From Hawaii, electrifying the crowd in the spring game here at Navy. And Paul Johnson hoping he can spark Navy's offense
This
right
is
now.
exactly what Paul Johnson did last year when Lamar Owens was struggling at times. He gave Brian Hampton some plays here, some plays there in the first quarter, second quarter, and there was that little spark.
Sideline warning, University of Massachusetts.
UMass getting warned by the officiating crew. Don Brown looking down the sideline like, come on, big fella. Our guys are excited. They're pumped up. Leading Navy here with a 2nd and 7 from the 23. And Hada across the 25, up near the 27-yard line. It'll bring up 3rd and 3. Bottom of the hour, 2:30 Eastern time. Massachusetts and Navy going at it. The 1AA Minutemen leading it here by a score of 14-7. Pete Medhurst, Scott Zolak, Sheehan, Stanwyck, Birch. Taking a look at things, and Scott, the key play that has UMass the lead.
Yeah, this is the big play action touchdown pass to Moore right there after they went for it on 4th down for the 2nd time. They converted it. UMass on top, 14-7.
And Hada on the pitch, coming right side. It'll be a first down as Shun White carries it across the 30 up near the 32.
It's not to say that Brian Hampton was playing poorly, but he was struggling. You could really see that UMass was in his head. Big plays by, and you look at the play right here with Hada. Good job sucking down the pressure inside, and a quick pitch to Shun White on the outside picks up the first down. Quick fake to Ballard, quick pitch, and that's the key. You got to be decisive with this option. You got to make quick decisions.
Hada to the line of scrimmage. Hall at fullback. Receivers top and bottom. 1st and 10 from the 32. Hines in the short motion. And Hada on the reverse pivot. Coming down the sideline. Pitches White. White gets across the 40, up near the 41-yard line. It'll bring up 2nd down and 1 yard to go.
It's a nice read by Hada. Almost hung on to it too long. Was almost a lateral there.
Scott, you played quarterback in the college game. How tough is it for a backup quarterback coming in this situation?
Well, I don't think in Paul Johnson's offense it's that tough, but you look at it almost looked like a lateral there. These quarterbacks know that at some point, if the starter struggles, because Paul Johnson has always done this, he will not hesitate to go to that backup, because if things aren't going his way, they got to do something before halftime here, or else they're going to be down by 2 touchdowns.
Under 7 to go. And Hada on the keeper, across the 45. up to the 47. 1st and 10 coming up for Navy. Paul Johnson has had some great quarterbacks here in Annapolis, and all have put up good numbers.
Outstanding quarterbacks. It all started with Candido, and then one of my favorites, Polanco, really knew how to read the option. He could hit the pass off the option. And of course, you watch Lamar Owens, who did an outstanding job running the triple option. Brian Hampton does have some big shoes to fill, but if he just plays within himself, I guarantee you he's going to be the strongest of those guys and will have more rushing yardage.
Up the middle, Hall breaks out of a tackle. He's at the 40, sidesteps a man 30, 25, 20, stays on his feet, gets 2 blocks downfield, dives, touchdown Navy!
What an effort.
A young man taken out of the lineup by injury a year ago comes up with a humongous run when Navy needed it the most.
Matt Hall, the big senior, that's exactly what Navy needed. Somebody to step up, one of the leaders on the football team, provide us a spark right here. Now this is something you feed off. The crowd's been quiet, sitting on their feet. Let's get it going.
We are all even at 14-14 here in Annapolis. Matt Hall energizes the faithful here in Annapolis when they need it the most. 14 all in Annapolis on CSTV Football Nation. Come on back.
It's too small, car's too small.
Autoclaustrophobia. It's taken a devastating toll, but its days are numbered, thanks to the all-new Nissan Versa. Versa treats small car symptoms with best-in-class interior space.
Now this is roomy.
Versa lets you be carefree and hands-free with Bluetooth technology.
I like that.
Versa will help you take control of autoclaustrophobia today. Ask your Nissan dealer if Versa is right for you.
You're so cute.
College sports fans need to stay alert. With hundreds of teams, thousands of players, and millions of fans, you never know when big news will come over the wire. It's a good thing there's CSTV to go. With CSTV to go, you get wireless text alerts straight to your phone with breaking news from across the college sports world. And when you subscribe to CSTV to go, you'll get the most up-to-the-minute scores and headlines from over 100 schools and up to 15 different sports sent to you, no matter where you are. Log on to CSTV.com and sign up now for CSTV to go.
The pressure is building, and a spot on the AVP Tour is still at stake.
Giving it all we got, that's not going to be a problem.
16 girls have become 8. The honor, the glory, it all comes down to this.
Your competitive spirit is what's going to put you on top.
Out here, there's only 2 options: go pro or go home. Tomorrow at 8, only on CSTV.
Paul Johnson looking for a spark, put in a couple of backups, and now Navy and UMass are tied at 14.
Well, Matt Hall, here's the version of it right here. 6 yards, should have been tackled, broke 2 tackles. Here comes the cutback. Now I want you to watch the effort right here to get the ball into the end zone. That's exactly what Navy's been looking for. Here's a nice low-level look at it, coming right into your couch. Matt Hall, the best thing about it, Pete, he doesn't look back. Normally when the back gets out into the open, he's looking back. That's what slows him down. But he continues, looks up ahead, 6 plays, 80 yards, just under 3 minutes on the scoring drive. 53-yard touchdown.
The career best for Matt Hall. Harmon's kickoff into the end zone. And coming out with it over the right side up to the 20, 25, 30-yard line. Courtney Robinson, the sophomore out of Lake Worth, Florida. And another transfer out of the University of Connecticut.
Take a look at the play selection. Play selection meaning run or pass. Who's pass heavy? Well, you know, UMass, very good balance. 14 runs, 10 passes. They got a little too cute for themselves on the last 2 drives. The Navy very lopsided right there. Didn't seem like they were in any sort of a flow to start this football game. Like they came out on first down, tried to get Brian Hampton going early on some passes in this game. It didn't work. And then all of a sudden, sit him down for a series. Maybe we'll see him again. We don't know.
Him going on first down, gives it to Baylock, left side, penetration on the Navy defensive line. Ty Adams, 43, along with Rob Caldwell.
It's not that you could really feel momentum swing, but you could see the energy back with this Navy. And we went down to Sheehan, you could see the heat was really bothering this Navy club on the sideline. Now this is something they needed. That's a great run by Hall. Hopefully that could carry over to the defense.
Second down, just under 10 coming up. Liam Cohen getting the play call from Don Brown and the offensive staff on the sideline.
UMass needs to be very careful here. Navy came back, tied the game up. Get back to what was working for you in those first 2 drives.
Cohen, short drop, looking out in the flat. As this man turns it upfield. First down, UMass. The ball will be up near the 40-yard line. Mike Omar with the catch. Coming up at halftime, we'll send you to the field house in New York for Game Tracker Live. Adam and Danielle will get you caught up on scores and highlights from around the top 25 and more. Scott and I'll have a look at the first half highlights and the stats from here in Annapolis. It's all coming up at the half. A special feature coming up on Clint Kubiak at the break as well. So we send it back to the field house coming up at the break. First and 10, UMass, and a big conversion there. Cohen brings him to the line of scrimmage. And again, as we've seen, pretty much right side, strong-sided formation. Baylor off left guard. Knee hits the ground at the 40, 2nd and 10.
That's a good call by the linesman. Good leg drive by Baylor, though. Hit at the line of scrimmage. Knee did touch. Continued to drive the legs. And UMass getting back to what they did. Regular personnel, meaning 2 backs, 2 wide receivers, 1 tight end. Let's just line up and play some football.
Brings up a second down and 10. Navy's mascot, Bill the Goat, entertaining the folks.
Watch Baylor to tailback. You're going to see him come up, get stuffed at the line of scrimmage. Down goes the left knee. That's a great call.
Good job there by line judge Alan Andrick on this ACC crew. Cohen, quick pitch to the far side to Lawrence, so they split out that time. Gets it up to the 43, 3rd down and 7 coming up.
Right there. That's a great example. And you asked me, how do you get Brian Hampton going in this football game? Little pop passes like that down the line of scrimmage. They're confidence builders. These are bigger wide receivers, and this is one of the nice things that UMass likes to take some of the tailbacks, put them outside. Guys like Timmy Washington. The more you can do, the more you can help your football team. Get the ball into your best athlete's hands.
3rd down and 7 from the 43. Trips to the bottom of the screen. This time Moore does step up on the line of scrimmage. There you go. Cohen on 3rd down. 2 steps, throws, got his man coming across the middle, and another UMass first down as he hits the tight end that time. Number 82, Brad Lustorti, the junior out of West Haven, Connecticut. Also attended Notre Dame and Rutgers.
What UMass did right there is they set up the trips to the left side. I want you to watch the tight end. He's on the back side. It's just basically a clear out on the left with the 3 wides. All the linebackers fed off. Good job by Liam. Look at him looking to the left. There's the patience in the pocket. Hits the big tight end. Picks up the first down.
Highly resembles a play I used to see in high school. 26 throwback. Tight end coming across.
40 years ago?
About 18. Here's Lawrence out of the backfield. He's got plenty of real estate across the 35. He's going to get down near the 31-yard line. And UMass in business behind their quarterback, Liam Cohen, and how good his offense is.
Having those veteran guys back helps me out so much, and it makes my life and job a lot easier having those guys back because, you know, they know what it's like. They've been there before. They've played in a few, 1A games, and they've played in a lot of big games before. So, I think that helps the offense be a little bit more cohesive.
Well, Liam's playing in the big game right now. He's 12 of 13, 151 yards and 1 touchdown. He's playing like a senior.
On first down, Cohen going to the near sideline, and he overthrows a double-covered receiver in J.J. Moore. Price and Little back for Navy.
Yeah, J.J. Moore had a little tough time getting out of his break. He slipped. That's why it looked like there was some mistiming in the passing game. But at this point, to be 12 of 14, almost right at halftime, I don't think Don Brown could have asked any more out of Liam Cohen.
Cohen already with more completions today, Scott, in this first half than he had for the entire game last week when he was 11 for 19. And the win over Colgate.
Threw 2 interceptions last week, and he's done a very good job protecting the football. He hasn't forced it so far in 2 quarters.
Brings up a second down and 10. The ball at the 31-yard line. UMass on the move. Cohen throws back here to the near side, and it's dropped by Washington, but in his defense, the pass was quite low and well covered by Navy.
UMass trying to set up the slip screen right there. They released 3 linemen to the left side, which turned some people loose. But you look at the total yardage. UMass 213 to Navy 155. And right there, that big goose egg in the passing game. We talked about it last week. At some point, it's going to come back and bite you.
Navy, which was a habitual slow starter a year ago, starting slowly in the first 2 games this year. UMass, ironically, Scott, 1 of 6 on 3rd down, perfect on 4th down. Navy fans trying to rev up the volume a little bit here on 3rd and 10. Cohen out of the gun, looks across the middle, and he throws it, and it's dropped. That ball should have been caught. Dropped across the middle. Rashid Rancher had it go flying off his hands and shoulder pads, and it'll bring up 4th down.
That's a big-time throw by Cohen right there. You got a guy like Rancher, 6'5" on the outside, already made 1 good catch to start the football game. But you look at Cohen, you look at the nice pocket his linemen give him, and he puts it right on the numbers to Rancher. You got to make that catch. You're on the road. You got a chance to go up 7 here right before the half.
Instead of getting his hands out to catch the ball, try to catch
it in your body. Yep. That's the worst thing you can do as a receiver. Allow the ball to come in and hit your shoulder pads. Don
Brown sonsing the field goal here. Showing some machismo for his Minutemen. 4th and 10. Cohen back to throw. And a miscommunication there. Rancher was still running down the sideline. The pass goes behind him, and UMass turns it over on downs.
Yeah, I can see exactly what Cohen wanted to do there. It was bump and run outside. Rancher did not have his guy beat. What you want to do is you want to throw a fade stop, meaning you want to throw it to the sideline. You put more velocity on the football. What Rancher should have done is just gauge it a little more, see the ball thrown, and turn his body, allow that ball to go on his back shoulder.
1st and 10 for Navy, the ball at the 31. Inhada still in at quarterback for Navy, his 2nd possession. On the option, pitches it to the near side. Rolling up to the 40-yard line and across the 40, Zerbin Singleton with a superb effort on 1st down for Navy. 1st and 10 at the 44.
He breaks the tackle with Brandon Smith on the outside, but there's the difference with Inhada right there. You saw the quick decision-making off the fake. Watch Zerbin come. He's not actually going to come in motion, but there's the quick pitch right there. That's something Brian Hampton struggled with in the first 1.5 quarters. So you really got to credit Paul Johnson for going with his backup quarterback here, providing a little spark.
Inhada on the reverse pivot, cuts it up. 49, 50-yard line. It'll be a gain of 6 on 1st down. Perhaps what was alarming, too, to the Navy head coach is 2 weeks in a row now, Hampton has had a pitch that was deflected as well in the option game. Navy calls timeout here with 1 minute and 51 seconds to go in quarter number 2. Through the years, Navy was struggling. They hired Paul Johnson, 2 and 10 in his first year, but they have recovered. Here's how.
It's a combination of things. Certainly the players have bought into what we've asked them to do, and they deserve all the credit because they're the guys who have worked their tails off and committed themselves to put in the time and effort needed, and it's just been fun to watch it kind of transform. Hopefully we can keep it going.
There you see the records right there. Numbers don't lie, Scott. Bowl appearances, Commander-in-Chief's trophies. That's what it's all about for the folks here in Annapolis.
Well, especially the Commander-in-Chief trophy. I think they'll take that every year. Not to say they take it over a bowl game. Don't get me wrong. Love going to the bowl games. But the bowl games starting to grow each and every year. And signed up with Carolina, so they might, if they have a very successful year, hopefully they'll be going down to Charlotte to play in a big bowl.
Yeah, the Meineke Car Care Bowl on December the 30th, where they'll take on a foe from the Atlantic Coast Conference. There you get a look at Super K, as he's known around these parts because of his long name. Once again, Kaiponoa Kehaku Inhada.
Paul Johnson seems so laid back and low-key in interviews, and then all of a sudden you get shots of him on the sideline. He's a fiery guy.
Inhada gives it to Madeline. Quick hitter up the middle, and he'll have another Navy 1st down at the 45-yard line.
I think Navy just needs to continue banging the fullback home, allow him to keep getting the carries, whether it's Ballard, whether it's Hall. You have to wonder, did Paul Johnson not like something he saw from Ballard early in his football game?
1st and 10 for Navy. Clock on the move in 1:41. Each team with 2 timeouts remaining. Inhada. Short roll, now going to tuck it down, and he's knocked down on the play. Super play by senior Jason Leonard out of Stoughton, Massachusetts.
It's the second big play Leonard has had in the backfield. Didn't look like they were setting up a pass, trying to get a quarterback draw.
So Navy will burn its 2nd time out. There you get a look at the sociology major, Jason Leonard, 6'2", 265-pounder. Comes up with a big play for his team's defense when they needed it. Navy challenging now, 2nd and 13 at the 48 coming up. Let's take a look at the Navy keys to the game. Take a look back at these, and obviously the Ballard and Hampton combo right now has been replaced by Paul Johnson.
Oh, and that's the big thing. They didn't get that going. Give Paul Johnson, like we said, credit for going to the backups, trying to provide the spark. Have yet to see the one big play in the passing game. We're just asking for one, Pete, not two. Solid offensive line play. I think they get that each and every week. This is the system. They know that they're a little bit bigger, but just keep banging it home, stay with it, and then eventually in the fourth quarter, Navy wears teams down.
And over on the far side, Don Brown's team, we talked about it. They had to score early, and they did.
They did. They scored early, and they scored often, twice to be exact, 14 points, and then they got a little too cute on the next two drives. And you try and take advantage of some of the taller receivers like Rancher, and then Liam Cullen had one nice touchdown pass to Moore, laid it out. But Steve Baylark rushing 11 carries, 48 yards so far. They got to get it. They got to get the ball back in his hands.
2nd and 13, and hot on the play action, looking to throw. Looking for Tomlinson. He's got the catch at the 29-yard line. Scott Zolak, Kaipo Noah, and Hada Kehaku, however you say it.
And Hada, look at him going up and listen to the crowd.
Super K makes the completion that Scott Zolak was begging for.
We finally have one to diagram here. There's the play action fake the hall. Look at Hada. It's a one-on-one backside receiver route. This guy, Jason Tomlinson, he's been patient, he's been quiet. He hasn't asked for the football. He does what he's asked to do. That's block on the perimeter, but a nice little post corner route. Great catch, way to get it inside his hands.
1st and 10 for Navy, and hot on the short roll. Looks out here to the near side and overthrows his receiver, Shun White. So 1 minute and 7 seconds to go. 2nd down coming up for the Mids at the 27.
See, that's the tough thing. You're under a minute here almost, and they've already burned 2 tight ends. But this is what happens when you hang on to the football too long. Almost could be a flag, leaning with the helmet right into the quarterback's chest. And he knows right there, I should have thrown it just a second quicker.
David Burris applying the pressure that time, and that's just something that comes with repetitions. Got to really get that ball out there. Now we get a whistle, and UMass is going to put play on pause with a timeout of their own. Both teams now down to 1 timeout remaining here in this first half. Something Don Brown did not like in the way his defense was lining up there.
UMass looks a little tired right now.
Don Brown's team, as we mentioned, a top 10 team in 1AA. Obviously high expectations here in 2006.
For us, it usually means we're on the same page in terms of the game plan. We're running to the football, and in sync with what we're doing. We try to be aggressive in our play calling, which in turn gives our players a chance to be aggressive, and I know our players enjoy that style.
UMass's defense, of course, going to be their calling card throughout the year. And look at that in 1AA last season. Nobody better than the Minutemen.
Led the nation 13 points a game last year. Gave up 7 to Colgate last week, but he likes to mix things up. He blitzes a ton, not only on 3rd down, but more importantly, 1st down. A lot of run blitzes. He mixes personnel. He'll show you nickel packages, dime packages. Not real vanilla when you face a Don Brown football team.
66 and 39 in his coaching career. Up the middle. Ball down on the ground. Massachusetts has it. Navy has run that quick hitter a couple of times up the middle, and that time the exchange not made. And there's the man again, James Inhedabu, making the recovery for the Minutemen.
You see, that's Big Matt Hall right there. It looks like he didn't have it. At some point, you got to realize, am I going to give it to the fullback, or am I going to pull it out? Matt Hall, I think he was surprised to even be fed the ball right there. That's one of the tough things with the option. That's what makes it so difficult for a quarterback to play in this system, is you got to read 3 different things. Do I have to give it to the fullback, and then when I'm coming down the line of scrimmage, am I going to keep it? Am I going to suck the pitch man in and then deliver the pitch?
Navy, which has turned it over twice today, like last week, both times while driving in the opposition's territory. Baylark on 1st down up to the 25-yard line. And with 35 seconds, clock on the move, each team with only 1 timeout remaining. And I think both staffs, for different reasons, going to be happy to get to the locker room here.
And we've seen Paul Johnson be very good with his halftime adjustments. I'd love to see what Don Brown's going to do offensively when he comes out.
Don Brown taking off the headset, has to be somewhat pleased, though his team probably could be even leading here at the half.
just have to wonder at the end of the fourth quarter, are we going to be sitting here talking about those Navy turnovers early in this football game? Did it hurt them?
Missed opportunities for the midshipmen, costing them deep in UMass territory here in the first half. End of the first half of play here in Annapolis. Navy and UMass all tied up at 14 apiece. As the Brigade of Midshipmen heads for some refreshments. Coming up, we'll be sending you to the field house in just a moment.
Get the one big run by Matt Hall. I mean, that was the big spark plug for Navy. You thought that was going to catapult them. You thought they were going to have a great defensive stand and that they were going to crank it up.
And let's throw it downstairs. She and Stanwyck Birch with Navy's head coach Paul Johnson.
What did you talk about with Hampton when you pulled him out?
Well, nothing. I just if we could get a boost in him, he won't throw the ball. He's, you got to throw it on this level. Hard to play if you can't throw.
Will you put him back in the game?
Oh yeah, he might play again. We'll see. It just depends on how it goes.
Any other adjustments you're going to make in the second half?
I'd like to pick up our energy level a little bit on both sides, and we got to execute a little better. We're not very good right now.
Thanks.
There you hear it from the Navy head man. He's got the answers. End of the first half, our score, Navy 14, UMass 14. Plenty more to come from Navy Marine Corps Memorial Stadium, but first, we send you to the field house in New York for Game Tracker Live. Adam Zucker, take it away.
I will. Welcome inside the CSTV Fieldhouse here in New York City for Game Tracker Live at halftime.
That's right, Navy and UMass at the midway point, tied at 14. He's Adam Zucker. I'm Danielle Sargent.
Yeah, I am Adam Zucker, and meanwhile, the highest-ranked team in action so far this afternoon, number 4, Auburn. The Tigers over 200 total yards from Kenny Irons in last week's 40-14 win over Washington State, taking on Mississippi State this afternoon, a team that has not scored yet this season. That guy scored some fried something. Brandon Cox to Gabe McKenzie for the short touchdown. They're up 7-0 in the first. Late in the second, the other Irons with the interception. David Irons picking off Trey Rutland. 17-0 Tigers in the third. Brad Lester on the pitch. Gets stacked up at the 20, but he keeps the feet moving all the way to the end zone. Auburn is rolling in this one and looking good. 31-0 right now. Brad Lester with 2 touchdown runs in the game, and like I said, the Bulldogs have yet to score this season.
West Virginia also having no problems today, leading Eastern Washington 28-3. Matt Nichols 11 of 18, 67 yards. Steve Slayton 8 carries, 103 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Michigan rolling over Central Michigan 24-10. Chad Henne 7-11 for 86 yards. He finished with 135 passing yards last week. That was the second fewest of his career. Wolverines hoping to get this game wrapped up pretty easily so that they can start focusing on next week's marquee matchup against Notre Dame. When we come back, we'll check in on Louisville and Temple. The Cardinals offense clicking on all cylinders. A first half you have to see to believe.
You're pretty. Waiting long?
Yeah, and I'm late.
No car, huh?
Bad credit.
I got a car. Hey, I can't get financing. Sure you can. It's easy. Just call 1-800-BAR-NONE. If you need car financing, even if you have bad credit, 1-800-BAR-NONE could get you approved in minutes. 1-800-BAR-NONE? You can? I am? Really? Scintillating. Need a car? Call 1-800-BAR-NONE. Everyone deserves a second chance, bar none. Call now.
CSTV XXL is your online ticket to over 100 channels of live college sports. From USC to Auburn, BYU to Navy, you'll get hundreds of schools and more than 10,000 events, like games, press conferences, interviews, and more. No matter what sport you love, you'll find it here, live and on demand. CSTV XXL delivers the most college sports ever. Check it out online at CSTVXXL.com.
NCAA Soccer, the world's game, now on our turf. Gets the goal! Watch NCAA Soccer on CSTV.
Hi, I'm Todd Cook for 800 Credit Card Debt.
If this is your $5,000 credit card debt and you're making only the minimum payments, it could cost you thousands of dollars in interest and take you many years to pay off your debt. But by calling 800 Credit Card Debt now, we'll help you eliminate fees and penalties, reduce your interest rates, lower your monthly payments, or even eliminate your debts completely.
I lowered my debt, my interest rates, and my monthly payments.
Call now and put that money back where it belongs, in your pocket.
I was an offensive lineman for 4 years. I no longer wear pads, but I still carry a lot of weight on my shoulders.
There are over 360,000 NCAA student athletes, and just about all of us will be going pro in something other than sports.
Plenty more football to come today on Football Nation. In-state hate between Colorado and Colorado State at 5 Eastern. Then at 9, UTEP and Texas Tech, as one of Conference USA's top teams, goes after a Big 12 power. CSTV Football Nation all afternoon and night. And there's a recognizable name on the back of one Colorado State jersey. Kubiak, Clint Kubiak, the starting defensive back for the Rams and the oldest son of offensive-minded Gary Kubiak, who won 2 Super Bowl rings as a Denver Broncos assistant and is now the head coach of the Houston Texans. Michelle Wallace has the story of how Clint couldn't be just like Dad.
Growing up as the son of Gary Kubiak, Clint wanted to be just like his dad. He wanted to play quarterback, but because of his size, it wasn't easy.
I was always so small, like in Little League and stuff, they never put me back there, I'd get killed. And then once I got to high school, I think I played 3 games of JV at quarterback and just ran for my life without some blocking help. So I just kind of stayed away from it and played receiver, played defensive back, and just worked out that way.
Constantly surrounded by football, Clint learned the game quickly, getting tips and lessons from the pros.
I definitely got the mental edge and just know the game, being around pro players my whole life, knowing their work ethic and what it takes to get to the next level. Now, when it comes down to playing the game, if you're a coach's son, if you're a farmer's son, I don't think it matters. You still got to go play ball, hit somebody.
Being his backup, you always go into film and you watch, he's always in the right spot at the right time. Even if he messes up, he knows what he's doing wrong, even before the coach says something, He's just growing up around the game so much, he understands the game, it's a sixth sense to him.
Right now, it's just exciting just to come in the season as a starter. People would always just tell me, I don't know if you'll be playing at the next level. So I'm real excited to go out there and show all the people that told me that I made it here. I'm not going to go away.
Back to today's action. Louisville lost its star running back Michael Bush in its season opener. Today, the Cardinals offense didn't really notice his absence. Louisville taking on Temple second quarter. That's George Stripling going wide. Temple, no shot at bringing him down. Louisville up 28-0, and it would just get started from there, really making this game look easy. More Stripling. Look at him plowing through the defense. 8 carries, 67 yards in the first half. Louisville up 35-0. Now 14 seconds left in the first half. Let's let Sergio Spencer get in on the action. Louisville up 42-0 at the half. Brian Brom, 16 of 29 for 308 yards, a touchdown, and an interception. Temple has lost 13 straight games. Overall, on its way to maybe being 14. We'll see. Nebraska leading Nicholls State 21-0. Zach Taylor, 15 of 16 for 118 yards and 2 touchdowns. Nebraska racked up 584 yards of total offense last week. That was good enough for second in the nation.
Danielle, the Hokies are playing some Beamer ball, up 35-3 late in this one against North Carolina. They blocked a punt in the second quarter to set up a touchdown, and Brendan Hill has a 70-yard interception return for a touchdown. Brandon Orr, 3 rushing TDs in the game. Duke, coming off the loss to Richmond, taking on Wake and doing so well so far. 13-7 the lead over the Demon Deacons, who beat Syracuse last week. Thaddeus Lewis with a 47-yard touchdown pass to Jamar Wright. And more scores coming up when we come back here on Game Tracker Live at halftime.
Next on CSTV, It's one of college football's greatest rivalries as Colorado takes on Colorado State. Don't miss this Rocky Mountain showdown where CSU will come in hungry for revenge after the Buffs come from behind win last year. Watch Colorado versus Colorado State coming up next. Football is a way of life. Live it with CSTV.
Passing gas can be deadly.
Whoa. Oh, something's funky.
Passing gas releases a plume of toxic vapors,
Oh, honey, not in the car.
like ammonia and hydrogen cyanide, and lethal poisons that can linger even when windows are open. Kids shouldn't be exposed to secondhand smoke. Don't pass gas, take it outside.
Tom Lemming's Generation Next, the only weekly national college football recruiting show. Get the inside track on what the top recruits are doing and where they'll end up.
It's got the size, the balance, the strength, the speed.
Tom Lemming's Generation Next, presented by Under Armour, every Thursday at 7:30, only on CSTV.
When a hurricane's coming, it's pretty surreal. You're thinking, oh, please don't come here. When Wilma takes the roof off of your house, then it's personal, and you just feel so hopeless and helpless. It's isolating to not have your TV. It was really refreshing to have Dish Network be there so promptly. I'm proud to be a Dish Network customer. Dish Network is definitely better TV for me.
Own a timeshare or campground membership? Turn it into cash.
Timeshares Only got us our full asking price before our next monthly payment was due.
Timeshares Only is the nation's largest, #1 most successful timeshare agency, representing properties from the biggest names in the industry.
No one sells more timeshares.
Call now and receive a free information kit, including 10 secrets to timeshares. You owe it to yourself to work with the best.
Don't delay. Call 1-800-423-3520.
I was an offensive lineman for 4 years. I no longer wear pads, but I still carry a lot of weight on my shoulders.
There are over 360,000 NCAA student athletes, and just about all of us will be going pro in something other than sports.
Welcome back to Game Tracker Live. First game for Chase Daniel, the starting quarterback at Missouri. Not bad. A school record 5 touchdowns to earn Offensive Player of the Week honors in the Big 12. The Tigers hosting an SEC team for the first time since 1984 today. Ole Miss, and the fans are ready for the Rebels. Tigers up 10-zip in the second. It's Marcus Woods off the shotgun draw through a huge hole, 16 yards. Down to the one he'd punch it in on the next play. Mizzou up 17. Later, after a muffed punt, ex-Tennessee Vol Brent Schaefer to Marche Green. Gets some great blocking on his way to the end zone to get Ole Miss on the board. But Missouri leading this one 27-7 with under a minute to go in the third quarter. Schaefer's numbers, not so good.
Rutgers leading Illinois 33-0. Mike Teal, 14 of 24 for 147 yards, a touchdown, and an INT. Rutgers beat North Carolina last week. They haven't started 2-0 since 2000. Northwestern trailing New Hampshire 20-17. Ricky Santos, a 1-yard touchdown run. Northwestern beat Miami of Ohio last week.
And we should also mention Iowa at Syracuse later today. Hawkeye starting quarterback Drew Tate not going to play because of a strained abdominal muscle. We just saw Northwestern, a Division I-A team, in trouble against 1AA. That was the case for Navy in our game against UMass this afternoon. They were trailing until Matt Hall tied it up with his 53-yard touchdown run. We are knotted at 14 on CSTV, Football Nation.
Here's University's College Avenue Gymnasium. On the surface, a typical gym. Wood. Sweat. But further underneath, there's something more. In 1869, history was made where this building now stands. The first ever intercollegiate football game was played down here between Rutgers and Princeton. And with it, Football Nation as we know it was born somewhere down here. College football's holiest of lands.
Football is a way of life. Live it with CSTV.
The United States Naval Academy, established in 1845, is the undergraduate college for the Navy.
It prepares young men and women to become professional officers in the Navy and Marine Corps. A world-class faculty and small class size allow midshipmen to excel in any of the 19 majors offered. Upon graduation, they will be appointed ensigns in the Navy or second lieutenants in the Marine Corps. The Academy emphasizes the moral, mental, and physical education of midshipmen through character development programs that stress the highest ideals of duty, honor, and loyalty. Navy also has a rich history of athletic achievements in a variety of varsity sports. The United States Naval Academy is where America develops leaders who will serve the nation. It is where the core values of honor, courage, and commitment are nurtured, and where the vision of America's future is shaped.
It's the world's game on our turf. NCAA soccer is here on CSTV, and it's the place to see America's top college soccer players. He gets the goal! With dozens of games and exclusive championship coverage, true soccer fans turn to CSTV.
What a shot and a great save!
NCAA men's soccer on CSTV. It's the world's game our way. Indiana versus St. Louis, Friday at 8, only on CSTV.
Passing gas in the presence of others is not only inappropriate,
That is so foul.
it can be deadly. Passing gas releases a fog of carbon monoxide
Grandpa,
and other poisonous fumes that can contribute to asthma and pneumonia.
you're killing us over here.
Kids shouldn't be exposed to secondhand smoke. Don't pass gas, take it outside.
Back in Annapolis, the Minutemen of the University of Massachusetts from the 1AA ranks, tied up with the Navy midshipmen, 14-14, after an exciting first half here at Navy Marine Corps Memorial Stadium. Along with Scott Zolak, I'm Pete Medhurst. Great to have you back with us. She and Stanwyck Birch down on the sidelines here this afternoon. And Scott, for UMass, really could not have asked for a better start. As you mentioned in the keys to the game, they had to score early, and they did here in this ball game.
They really did. They struck early and often, and Liam Cohn has really played well. He's 12 of 17 so far in the first half. But UMass coming here into Navy, a lot of people surprised that they would even have the lead, but to be tied at this point, you and I aren't surprised. I mean, we know what Ron Brown does.
Let's take a look at the highlights from the first half.
Yeah, and this is Tim Washington. They said we're going to see a lot of him, and here's Brian Hampton on the quarterback keeper, right behind the big fullback Adam Ballard. But here's the problem right here. Once they tried to force throwing the football, the quick turnover, here they are off the play action fake. J.J. Moore with the big touchdown catch, and then the big Matt Hall coming up, gave Navy the big spark. You thought that the defense would have picked it up from there. But turnovers, the story right now for Navy.
Let's take a look at the Nissan Shift Performance first half stats.
And the one that really jumps out at you right here, Pete, when I look at the thing is the time of possession on the bottom. 18 minutes for UMass, 11 for Navy. Normally Navy and Paul Johnson at halftime see that thing flip. 2 turnovers for Navy. We're wondering in the fourth quarter, we're going to be sitting here talking about it. But 65 yards rushing for UMass. They'd like to see Baylark up over 100 yards.
Earlier, you heard from their head coach, Paul Johnson, about the turnaround here in Annapolis. What did the Navy players see as the key to the turnaround?
It has to be Coach Johnson and his staff. I think him coming in and changing just the whole attitude of Navy football, not just on the team, but in the brigade as well.
He's just a good motivator. He knows how to get the players moving, get them going, get them motivated, and make them want to win and make them want to push themselves further than what they think they can go.
Coach Johnson is definitely the head of the turnaround. I mean, he's not just a figurehead. He's out there, doing everything. He's really, as far as especially the offense, his system alone, gives us a chance.
No. It's too small. Autoclaustrophobia. It affects more people than you think. But there's hope on the horizon, and it's called the Nissan Versa. Versa provides relief with best-in-class rear seat legroom. Versa keeps you going for over 400 miles on just one tank. Versa will save the world from autoclaustrophobia, one driver at a time. Ask your Nissan dealer if Versa is right for you.
A new season is beginning, and so is CSTV's Crystal Ball, presented by Xbox Live, the show that gazes into the future of college sports, bringing you the hottest stories, teams, and players throughout the college football season. If you have a question, Crystal Ball has the answer. Watch Crystal Ball, presented by Xbox Live, every Wednesday at 7, only on CSTV.
Skillets, axes, spittoons, a garage sale? Try the crown jewels of Football Nation.
Football is a way of life. Live it with CSTV.
As a proud Earthlink employee, I swear I'll do my part to help protect you from bad internet.
Spam, viruses,
Fisher sites,
pop-ups everywhere.
Things that waste your time. I promise we're going to give you good tools to protect your children.
Spam blocker, spyware blocker, pop-up blocker, virus blocker.
Free blocking tools, free protection features. That's Earthlink High Speed. Right now, get Earthlink High Speed for as low as $12.95 a month.
I promise you speed.
It's like lightning.
Earthlink is blazing fast.
Move to Earthlink, and I'll do all I can to get you a high-speed internet. It goes up to 70 times faster than dial-up.
I would say that a geek gets it done and a nerd doesn't, and we're geeks.
I love working for Earthlink.
And when you call Earthlink customer support, I promise to treat your problems like my problem.
More speed, more security. Call 800-828-4758 or visit these retailers. Get the first 6 months of Earthlink High Speed for as low as $12.95 a month. Earthlink, we revolve around you.
I was an offensive lineman for 4 years. I no longer wear pads, but I still carry a lot of weight on my shoulders.
There are over 360,000 NCAA student athletes, and just about all of us will be going pro in something other than sports.
Back in Annapolis, Matt Hall with a big touchdown. Flyover pageantry. Navy and UMass with a very competitive game here in the first half. UMass's defense as good as advertised. And the brigade of midshipmen. 14 all Massachusetts and Navy. As we get ready to start the third quarter, Sheehan Stanwyck Birch with Massachusetts head coach Don Brown.
Thanks. Coach, what are you going to look to do offensively in the second half?
We just got to execute better. We missed a couple of assignments, a couple of penalties that hurt us, but we just got to keep competing on that side of the ball.
Well, thanks. Good luck in the second half.
UMass will kick off to start the second half. Ironically, Scott, he was the D coordinator on that championship team. The final score in that game, 55-43 between Massachusetts and Georgia Southern. Kickoff, good into the end zone. Campbell will stay right on the blue square in the checkerboard square end zone. And Navy will have it first and 10 at the 20-yard line. And obviously all eyes go to the sideline now to see who Paul Johnson will play a quarterback here to start the quarter.
It is Brian Hampton. I see him in the huddle right there. So this is a good move on Paul Johnson's part. First career start last week. He needs to know throughout the course of this season that he's the guy. You know, nice job going to Nhata right there. A little bit of a spark he provided, but more importantly, Matt Hall with the big 52-yard run.
First and 10 for Navy, the ball at the 20. Hampton keeps it, spun down at the 23-yard line. Charles Walker for the first time today, the junior out of North Lauderdale, Florida, up to make the stop.
That's one right there where he could have pitched it to Singleton. You know, little things like that. He's very tentative on some of his decision-making today, and it really shows compared to last week.
Almost wonder if he's a bit gun-shy after having another one tipped. Second down, 7 at the 23. Hampton does pitch it, it's tipped again! And UMass had a chance to pick it up, and Reggie Campbell somehow comes up with the ball. James Inhedebo had a chance to make a huge play for UMass, Scott, and Campbell somehow comes out of there with the ball.
I'll tell you what, Don Brown sends Inhedebo about 3 times this series, and if you look at Inhedebo, he's going to be on your left side. He's coming down. He's going to be the disruptive force on the pitch. It's almost like he's setting Hampton up. You know, he gives him a little look inside, which forces Hampton to cut it up inside, thinks he has the pitch, and then at the last second, boom, they saw something. Credit Don Brown. He saw something from East Carolina last week, and what he did in practice was he carried it over to this week.
On 3rd and long, Hampton scrambles out of the backfield, gets up to the 15, back up near the 19, but there's a flag on the play back at the point of contact where Hampton came forward, holding against the mids. UMass, with a pending 4th down coming up, should decline, and Navy will have to punt.
This is not very good of a Paul Johnson team coming out after halftime. They make great adjustments at the half. You talk about scoring, and this is the way they put people away. Is in the second half, they wear you down.
You see Paul Johnson with a stunned look on his face, just wondering what he has to do or can do to get his team going forward.
79 offense. Penalties refused. 4th down.
Matt Pritchett on the holding call, and the punting unit comes on for the midshipmen.
You're going to see Matt Pritchett at the top of your screen, and he's the best run blocker that Navy has. He just continues to hang on, and you know what? I don't really blame him for that. That's Hampton stepping up into the pocket, and it's more reactionary to the defense to go and try and get him.
Working against All-American Jason Hatchell for UMass. Potato on to punt. Spiraling kick, turns over for him. Moore at the 41. Beats the first guy, not the second guy. And he goes down at the 45-yard line. UMass with its first possession of the second half coming up. All tied at 14 in Annapolis on CSTV.
The last sound you hear before you step on the field. Click, clack. I think the era's coming.
Quick, quack.
Quick, quick. Quick, crack.
I think the era's coming.
Some people think it's just a game, but to thousands of others, it means more, much more. So this fall, CSTV is sending a few diehard fans out on the road for the trip of a lifetime on Mission SEC Football. These fans will travel more than 8,000 miles and catch 17 total games while experiencing everything that makes a college football season in the South so unique. Follow their mission all season long, on air and online at missionsecfootball.com.
Hey, Zachary.
Ready?
You looking good?
The odds of a child becoming a professional athlete are 1 in 16,000. The odds of a child being diagnosed with autism, 1 in 166. The odds say it's time to listen. To learn the signs of autism, visit autismspeaks.org.
Back in Annapolis, UMass getting ready to go on possession. Folks, want to remind you, if you're looking for even more action from Navy, then you need to check out CSTV XXL on CSTV.com. CSTV XXL is the only place where you can get over 100 channels of live college sports featuring your favorite teams. Live games, press conferences, highlights, as well as breaking news, scores, stats, and much more. Available with just a few clicks. CSTV XXL and CSTV.com. The most college sports ever. Steve Baylark on a first down carry for the Minutemen, just short of midfield. A gain of 4, 2nd and 6.
That's a nice tackle right there by Tyler Tidwell. But Liam Cohen, 0 for his last 4, like you said, Pete, needs to get something going here. He had the nice strike to Rasheed Rancher coming in on that deep in cut. Should have caught it, should have continued on that drive, and maybe at least gotten a field goal right before the half.
Move the tight end over to the right side, the strong side of the formation. I formation behind Cohen. Straight ahead football with Baylark. Big hole right side. Steve Baylark into the secondary. 35, 32-yard line before he is hauled down. A gain of 18 yards on the play. 1st and 10, UMass.
He did a nice job following his big fullback, E.J. Barthel. Watch the fullback come to the left side of the screen. Right there, walls off that right side of the Navy line. This is when UMass is at their best. Regular personnel in I formation, setting the fullback up for the block. But you see Steve Baylark shaking up on that play.
Timmy Washington in to replace him here. They put Lawrence at the fullback position this time.
He's grabbing his left hamstring.
Hate to see that for any runner, that's for certain. Here's the second back who Washington stutter steps, and he has popped John Chan. And Larry Silk on the stop for the midshipman. It'll bring up 2nd down and 10.
So they do have Tim Washington. They do have Matt Lawrence, number 32. Both those guys did play in the first half. Washington had a nice touchdown run inside the 5. So it's not like these guys have not been in the mix.
Tim Washington and Matt Lawrence. Lawrence who had 6 carries for 38 yards a week ago. There you see trying to stretch Baylark out on the far sideline.
Well, you can see he has that left knee already taped up, and you have to wonder maybe it's a cramp, with the heat and losing a lot of water out there.
Twins to the top. Cohen short hops Lawrence at the 30-yard line. It'll bring up 3rd and 10. As we mentioned, Tim Washington, Matt Lawrence in that backfield, one of many transfers on the UMass roster. And look where they came from, Connecticut and Rutgers mostly.
4 from UConn, 4 from Rutgers. Tim Washington, of course, at Syracuse for 3 years. 15 total Division 1A transfers.
Several of those guys on the field getting a lot of playing time today. Michael Meggett, by the way, if the name sounds familiar, cousin of former New York Giant and Towson University star David Meggett.
Played with David Meggett up for 3 years up in New England. Talk about a guy pound for pound, size for size. One of the best football players I've ever been around.
Ironically, UMass will play at Towson later this year. Cohen, 3rd and long, throws out the flat, and it's intercepted! Keenan Little with a tremendous break on the football. Navy turns over the Minutemen at a critical time.
That's a tough throw for Liam Cohen. UMass on the right hash. They run a deep out to the left side. That's the wide side of the field. Nice end zone shot of it. He's in the pocket. This is a good throw. I mean, he didn't wait. He anticipated well. It was just a great read by Keenan Little. Take a look at Keenan Little. Watch the break. You see the anticipation right there. That's just an outstanding athletic effort.
The senior from Boiling Spring, North Carolina, comes up with a huge play for the midshipman defense.
Cohen's just got to keep that ball a little more outside into the sideline. That's a heck of a throw.
Inhada in at quarterback. Gives it off to Ballard up the middle.
All right, you win your dollar. You said he'd be in. I said, no way. I said he's got to stay with Hampton.
So Adam Ballard with the first down carry, and Navy now on the move. They get the ball up to the 33-yard line. It'll bring up 2nd down and 3. And again, for the 2nd time today, 3rd time in 2 games, a pitch gets batted. Paul Johnson goes back.
Does not hesitate.
Sophomore. Ballard, the single set back behind him. And Hahn pitches a little bit behind Singleton. He drops the ball. Recovered by UMass. David Burris, the junior, on the recovery. And Massachusetts is back in business. And this has to be deja vu for Paul Johnson.
Take a look at Paul Johnson right now on the sideline. He's absolutely disgusted right now. At some point, Navy's going to have to just scrap the entire option and do what they do with the slot backs, where they put them in motion and they run that student body to the left or to the right. But you see Inhada come down the line. I mean, that's just a bad pitch. He puts it on Singleton's back shoulder. You got to get that pitch outside in the front. Watch Singleton's left shoulder. I mean, that's way behind him.
So UMass,
another break for UMass. UMass needs to capitalize if they want to win this football game.
When Paul Johnson and Don Brown matched wits in '98, there were turnovers galore in that game. Here's Lawrence on the carry, bulls his way forward up to the 28-yard line. It'll be 2nd and 7. Sovey on the stop for the mids.
Baylor still out of the football game. Lawrence the tailback.
There you see Liam Cohen got off to a great start, Scott, but has not been able to find a receiver since.
Yeah, but for the most part, he's done a good job reading. He's been going where he wants to with the football. Navy hasn't forced him into any major turnovers. That was a tough throw on that last one. He threw it to the wide side of the field, but he'll learn from that. He's only a sophomore.
The pitch to Lawrence going right side. Following Barthel, tries to kick it outside. He'll gain 2 up to the 26. It'll bring up 3rd down and 5 for the midshipman. Jeremy McGowan comes up to make the stop from the secondary.
Yeah, their big right tackle, Chris Hopkins, who's replacing Sean Colicchio, who's got an arm problem. Nice job sealing off the wall on that right side and allowing Lawrence to get outside. But you look at Navy, inability to hit plays in the passing game, critical turnovers in this football game. When this thing's all said and done, if they're on the losing side of it, they can only blame themselves.
Turnovers will kill you in all levels of football, no matter how good you are.
No matter how good you run the football, whether you have 400, 450 yards. Paul Johnson even said it. You got to be able to throw the football at this level.
Navy bringing blitz from the secondary. Underneath, Listorti has the catch. Inside the 20, down to the 17. First down, UMass.
That's the 2nd time today UMass has picked up a first down with that exact formation. Trips to the left side, and the tight end, the lone receiver to the right. All they do is clear it out, and they drag the tight end underneath. It's an easy read for Liam Cohen.
And Cohen finally gets a completion. Now 13 of 20 for 160 yards. 1 pick, 1 score. More importantly, a first down and 10 at the Navy 17-yard line.
One thing you don't want to do here is take a sack.
Cohen puts a man in motion at the top of the screen. Gives it to the second back through Washington's got a hole into the secondary down to the 8-yard line. It'll bring up 2nd down and 1 yard to go. DeJuan Price on the tackle.
Now you realize Baylor trying to get 1,000 yards for the 4th time in his career, but these other guys, Washington, Lawrence, they have a great knack in tiptoeing. You watch his feet as he comes up to the line of scrimmage there. Evades 1 tackler, cuts up inside, gains 6+ yards off that, Pete.
And the great thing is having guys like Lawrence and Washington with Baylark banged up.
You don't lose a step. Just keep things going.
Second down and 1 from the 8. Pitch right side, Washington following Barthel. Gets outside, cuts it up. First and goal to go UMass as he gets down just short of the 5-yard line.
Good job by Hopkins again, the right tackle on the outside, walling it off. Barthel, the big 245-pound fullback, leading it up in there. The great nose, Timmy Washington just slowed down, picked up the first down. And if you're UMass here, I'd run it 4 times.
Got to give a call there. You see number 71, Chris Hopkins. He was the man of the hour today. With Colicchio out, he had to step in, and with the exception of the early holding call, he has done a marvelous job.
He really has. He really has. And these are fast, active defensive linemen. 6'3", 260. He's a junior.
But in the tough DC Catholic League at St. John's College. Barthel on the quick hitter. Bouncing off of players, still trying to keep the feet moving. Gets down to the 4-yard line.
They almost missed that handoff right there. That's a quick hitter with the fullback.
It'll bring up second down and goal to go. Last week, a great disparity in the trenches between the two teams. This week, a little bit more comparable, but still, UMass's offensive line with a big edge.
Hopkins very slow getting up right there, too. That'd be critical for UMass if he goes down. But you look at the size advantage, 6'4", 297. Navy up front on the defensive side, just a tad under 250. I think East Carolina averaged, 313 last week, 6'5", 6'6".
Sturdy in motion. There's the short motion. Hand Baylark back in. He is stood up at the point of attack. Joe Silk, number 50 into the ball game, makes the stopper. Spencer also in. Jeremy Miles in the backfield for the midshipmen.
That's a great tackle by Joe Silk. A guy lost his job to Clint Sovey. Clint's been playing well, but for him to come in these situations, goal line defense, watch the way the middle linebacker fills the hole. He recognizes it right there, wraps it up, keeps his head up in the middle, but Baylark back into the game.
And as we mentioned, with it being so hot down on the ground, these guys
have to rotate guys.
Right,
you need to keep guys fresh. You need to keep them hydrated on the sidelines, get your water when you're out.
Navy's defense trying to bow their neck here. Third and goal from the 4. Cohen, quick hitter out to Washington, and he turns it up for a UMass touchdown.
That's coming back. You got a hold on the outside. It's a great call by our linesman. It's a pick play. The wide receiver set up on the outside. Mike Omar, the wide receiver, number 15, is going to get called for holding here.
And I think he knows it. He just stares at the referee from 5 yards away and puts his head down. There you see Omar playing a lot today with Brandon London, along with Brad Anderson, suspended for today's game by Don Brown.
Block in the back, number 15 offense. 10 yards from the spot of foul. Repeat third down.
Look at the right side of your screen right here. Right there on the circle, Omar with the hold just hangs on. He didn't even have to really hang on it for any second at all. Just get in front and shield him.
Clearly had a hand on the
And those little things like that, that's what's killing UMass right now, these critical penalties. I mean, that's 6 points. It's not like you're picking up a first down. You just negated a touchdown.
And they had the one earlier when they were driving. They went for it on 4th down and eventually did not get it.
See, if I'm UMass, I just take a 3-step drop and throw it up to Rashid Rancher. He's got a 6-inch advantage over any of the defensive backs, and he's at the bottom of your screen right now. I mean, we got a complete mismatch on the bottom.
Third and goal from the 11-yard line. Cohen looking up to the top, and he is sacked on the play. John Chan, who had a super game a week ago, out of the great program in Northern California, De La Salle, John Chan comes up with a humongous play for Navy's defense.
Seems like we call his name a lot every time the game's on the line or you think you're at a critical stage in a game. Watch Chan, he's on the bottom, right in the middle of your screen. I mean, that's just a bad block by Alex Miller. It seems like he didn't know what the play was, or else he was, I mean, he snapped the football. You know that they got to be coming. Last thing you want to do is take a sack. Now this is a difficult field goal.
Copeland puts it up, and the kick is good. From 37 yards out, UMass at the 4:55 mark of quarter number 3 has to settle for 3, but they lead by 3. Here in Annapolis, it's Football Nation on CSTV.
For those who serve others, we serve you. We're TIAA-CREF. With our range of financial products and services, including personalized, objective advice, we have the expertise to help you plan for and live in retirement. So whatever stage you're at in preparing for your future, we can help. TIAA CREF, financial services for the greater good.
Brace yourself for another CSTV Saturday triple header. Next Saturday at 6 p.m., the action is hot and heavy in the SWAC as Arkansas Pine Bluff invades Alabama State. And at 12 a.m., the Delaware State Hornets take on Northwestern State. But it all gets underway at 2:30 when Big East upstart South Florida squares off against Conference USA favorite Central Florida. Don't miss CSTV Saturday triple header starting at 2:30 with South Florida and UCF. Football is a way of life. Live it with CSTV.
I was an offensive lineman for 4 years. I no longer wear pads, but I still carry a lot of weight on my shoulders.
There are over 360,000 NCAA student athletes, and just about all of us will be going pro in something other than sports.
4:55 to go in quarter number 3. Massachusetts, a field goal to go ahead of Navy. They lead it here by a score of 17-14, and even Bill the Goat a bit befuddled by what he's seen from Navy so far. 10-play drive, only 11 yards, as Navy's defense stiffened when it had to, Scott.
It's amazing. It took 5.5 minutes to go 10 yards, but penalties were a big factor in that. They kept the ball on the ground. That's why the clock was moving. But points off of turnovers, and that's the big key to this game so far. Navy with the big turnovers, one in the first half. UMass had to convert the 4th down, and then they had the big quick play action pass, hit J.J. Moore on the touchdown. And right there should add another touchdown, so it should be 14 points off turnovers. They could be kicking themselves in the tail at the end of this game because it's only been 10.
Kickoff, headed toward the near side. Campbell catches the line drive of the goal line. Brings it back up the right hash mark, finds the seam. Reggie Campbell looking to go outside. He's got one man tracking him close. Campbell tackled at the 27-yard line. Navy with a big play from a big play guy.
Something Navy needs right here. Quick spark in the kick return game. You look at Reggie Campbell. Watch his head. It stays upfield. The only thing that are moving is his legs. He keeps his upper body control great, but that's a great effort right there. I'm telling you, Dominique Milton tracking him down from behind because Reggie Campbell, he had the beat on the end zone. He had the angle. I thought he was gone, Pete.
Senior from Madison Park Tech Vocational in Boston, saving a Navy touchdown there. Anhata stays in at quarterback. And he gives it to Ballard up the middle, who's tripped up after he crosses the 25 to the 24-yard line.
So Ballard back into the game. You've seen him use Hall. Hall had the big run right before the end of the first half. Like you said, Pete, with the heat out there, you're going to have to wear this team down. And how do you do that? You replace people. You keep guys fresh. But Brian Hampton has got to keep his head in this football game. Very concerned in the way he's playing today.
Ballard, the single set back. Anhata gives it to him again. He plows up the middle. He'll be about a yard short of the first down. Charles Walker on the tackle for UMass. Reggie Campbell, who just went 73 yards, put himself in the record books back in December, Scott, with a huge poinsettia against Colorado State.
He's in very good company. You see guys like Barry Sanders there, Steven Jackson, playing for the St. Louis Rams right now.
And a guy named Sanders, you may have heard of him. Anhata keeps it, runs it back to the left. Kaipa Noah Kehaku Anhata goes 19 yards for a Navy touchdown. Matt Harmon on for the extra point. And the kick is right down Broadway. So the electrifying kick return turns into a touchdown for Navy. Super K takes it all the way. 19, and Navy leads by 4 on CSTV.
Energizer E² lithium batteries let you take up to 630 photos in digital cameras versus up to just 90 with leading ordinary alkaline batteries. Energizer E² lithium keeps going.
Next on CSTV, it's one of college football's greatest rivalries as Colorado takes on Colorado State. Don't miss this Rocky Mountain showdown where CSU will come in hungry for revenge after the Buffs come from behind win last year. Watch Colorado versus Colorado State coming up next. Football is a way of life. Live it with CSTV.
When I'm under, I don't breathe. I'm weightless. My heart races. I'm floating away. And when it's over, all I think about is doing it again.
Michael Swan is under the influence of his volunteer swim coach. By spending time coaching, he helps Michael stay off the street and off drugs. Be a coach, a mentor, a volunteer, because you have something to offer.
Skillets, axes, spittoons, a garage sale? Try the crown jewels of Football Nation.
Football is a way of life. Live it with CSTV.
The Brigade and those in Annapolis, finally something to cheer about. The midshipmen taking the lead on the Massachusetts Minutemen 21-17. Scott, all set up, though, by the kick return by Reggie Campbell, getting Navy's offense. Maybe that little oomph that Paul Johnson was looking for.
Well, that's what you thought, too, from Matt Hall early in the game, but the defense didn't carry it over. They didn't capitalize on anything after that. Now, could this be where the turning point is for these Navy midshipmen, where they wear teams down in the second half? Maybe it began right there with their spark plug, Reggie Campbell.
3 plays, 27 yards, 1 minute, 37 seconds. For Kaipo Noah Haku Inhada.
He's fast, Pete.
He is. Electrifying spring game, too, for the mids, and moving up the depth chart. Harmon's kickoff into the end zone, 2 yards deep. Minutemen will bring it out. Nelson on the return across the 20 to the 25, where UMass will have it 1st and 10. Let's throw it downstairs to Sheehan Stanway Birch.
Well, guys, it seems like every time UMass makes a big play, Navy responds, and now UMass needs to do the same thing. They're going to look to their senior leader, James Ihedibu. He really is the workhorse out there. He's a walk-on as a freshman. Now he's a senior captain, and he really lives by the mantra, work for what we want. And that's what he's preaching to his teammates right now. They need to respond. They need to score. When things are going not well for him in practice, that's often what he repeats, and the guys seem to respond.
The hometown product from Amherst, Massachusetts. Hard to believe he was a walk-on. Here's Baylark, the second man through the hole. Tries to run out of a second tackle, but DeJuan Price brings him down, but not before he gets back to the 33. Second down to 2 coming up. That hamstring looks pretty good right now.
Yeah, it does right now, but it is some point of a concern because he is limping just a little bit, but he's able to step out of the first wave, what I call the first wave right there. Guys like Tidwell coming up, just still having trouble getting up. They got to gauge this guy, make sure he's okay because it is hot out there, and you just have to wonder, is he cramping up a little bit? I think it's more of a hamstring pull than a cramp.
A gamer, though, he stays in. 2nd down and 2. Cohen back to throw. Looking down the right side, has a man down the seam. Rancher off his fingertips. It'll bring up 3rd and 2. Jeremy McGowan on the coverage.
That's what you want to do. He just pulled that string on a little bit, floated it too much down there. He's got to put a little more zip under that throw. But you take a look at Rancher on the ISO. He sets, he turns McGowan nicely with the ball just thrown maybe a foot too high. Keep that ball down his body, and they got a big gainer right there, about a 45-yarder.
McGowan giving away 6 inches to Rancher. You mentioned that earlier. Scott got to take advantage of that opportunity there in the secondary.
3rd down conversions, UMass only 2 of 10 right now, hitting on 20%. They got to get that up around 60.
Cohen to throw out in the flat. Knocked away again by Keenan Little, who again steps in front of Rancher on the route. Interesting play calling with 2nd and 2 ahead and 2 pass plays.
Yeah, that's tough right there because you're asking Liam Cohen. Watch him right here. He's going to, this is the receiver on the outside, Rancher. Rancher does a poor job right there, kind of just rounding into his route. He didn't go up, he didn't threaten Little, meaning forcing him to drop his hips. You know, there wasn't any threat that he was going to run by him. He kind of just rounded his route off. and made it a tough throw for Cohen.
Saw defensive coordinator Buddy Green coming down the sideline, tapping the helmet of his cornerback there to make a big play in that situation. Hold to punt. Jason Tomlinson awaits back at his 23-yard line. Picks it up, booms it out of there with the left foot. High, booming kick. Tomlinson at the 13. Comes up to the 15. Tries to reverse his field. Flag down on the play. We'll have a push in the back against Navy on the return here. So that'll back up the midshipmen in a tough field position here. And again, there you see the weapon, Kogel, in the punting game, changing field position here, Scott, for UMass.
What I feel, though, he's also a model off the field, so very busy.
Hair.
He's got a website, pictures up.
Jeremy McGowan had a big play on the play to Rancher down the seam, and let's take you to our BioBlast on Jeremy McGowan.
Jeremy McGowan, senior cornerback. My goal when I graduate is to be a pilot. I want to go down to Florida, go to flight school. I want to fly jets, F-18s, hopefully.
Jeremy McGowan hoping to fly jets, hoping to go down to Pensacola to flight school. Blocking the back against Navy. Scott puts them in tough field position here back at the 7-yard line. And Hada staying at quarterback. Gives it to Ballard on the straight-ahead dive across the 10, up near the 13, 6 yards on first down.
Wouldn't be shocked if they continue to run the fullback here, or maybe start to do little toss sweeps to the boundary. You don't want to put them in a precarious situation where you got the pitch, you have to worry about it. And I think UMass is doing a nice job, getting a guy in there, playing the middle of that quarterback-pitch relationship.
Keeps the ball handling simple. And Hada with Ballard behind him on second down. Keeps it himself, and he is thrown down at the 14-yard line. It'll be a gain of 1 on the play. Brandon Collier, the freshman, up to make the stop.
Seems like Navy playing it close to the vest. You don't want to do anything silly here. Last thing you want is a turnover. And that's the bad thing in football games, is when you turn the football over often, you start to think about it, and then you worry too much about it.
So Collier going off. He is hurt. He'll get some attention. And again, that looks like a cramp as they straighten his leg and point the toe. 3-man front here on third down, and 3 for Navy. And UMass nearly jumped offside, and Hada gives to Ballard. Ballard pushes the pile forward. He'll be up to the 19, and he'll have a first down for the midshipmen. Wilner Alexis, the sophomore out of Somerville, Massachusetts, on the stop.
So Ballard with the 7th carry, not getting a lot of touches.
Look at Navy's running game today. 7 different ball carriers. Hampton had 20 yards on 10 carries. Matt Hall leads the way. He had 66 on 4, and of course, 53-yard touchdown run. And Hada on the reverse pivot on the motion. Keeps it himself, and he is thrown down at the line of scrimmage. First hit on defense, George Bird, the sophomore out of Naples, Florida, and number 48, David Burris. Third quarter is history here in Annapolis. The Navy midshipmen with a 4-point lead on the Minutemen of the University of Massachusetts. Can the 1AA Minutemen come alive in the fourth quarter and pull off the upset here in Annapolis on CSTV?
GoDaddy, the world's #1 domain name. Bang, bang, banana pants with a lazy baby bingo. Makes it fast, fun, and affordable to get on the internet.
Just buy any other hot internet product and your .com is just $1.99.
With your very own .com. Any other domain name for just $1.99. This train's coming in. 199.coms at GoDaddy.com.
Just go to www.godaddy.com.
It's GoDaddy!
The United States Naval Academy, established in 1845, is the undergraduate college for the Navy. It prepares young men and women to become professional officers in the Navy and Marine Corps. A world-class faculty and small class size allow midshipmen to excel in any of the 19 majors offered. Upon graduation, they will be appointed ensigns in the Navy or second lieutenants in the Marine Corps. The Academy emphasizes the moral, mental, and physical education of midshipmen through character development programs that stress the highest ideals of duty, honor, and loyalty. Navy also has a rich history of athletic achievements in a variety of varsity sports. The United States Naval Academy is where America develops leaders who will serve the nation. It is where the core values of honor, courage, and commitment are nurtured, and where the vision of America's future is shaped.
They wear the school colors for a few fleeting years, leave behind moments we'll always remember, and take with them the spirit to excel in all they do. That's why the NCAA corporate family provides scholarships, sponsors youth programs, and supports all 23 NCAA sports. They know that while the excitement of college sports is shown in moments, the value lasts a lifetime.
By 4 here in Annapolis. Just how close does Massachusetts think they are today? Take a look at head coach Don Brown before the defense came out.
You don't think these two coaches are fiery? He realizes what's at stake here. He sees they have a great opportunity to knock off Navy, a 1A opponent. He just wants to convey that message to his players.
2nd down and 11 coming up for the Mids here to start the 4th quarter. McCoy in motion. Inhada back to throw. Gets it away. Knocked down at the line of scrimmage. Jason Leonard again knocking that one down. Brings up 3rd and 11.
For Navy to throw the football, they need to run it first. The run for them sets it up. That sets up the play action. When they come out on 1st down, 2nd down and long, and do the straight drop back stuff, they just seem like a fish out of water. It just doesn't go for them right now.
Absolutely, and down and distance makes a huge difference. If a team's got to come up to the line of scrimmage, they have to honor the run a little bit tighter when it's 2nd and 3 or 2nd and 4 as opposed to 2nd and 11 as it was there. That brings up 3rd down and 11 from the 19. And Haas keeps it, gets through the hole, gets up to the 24-yard line. It'll be a gain of 5, but far short of the 1st down, and it'll result in a punt for Navy. Jason Leonard continues his fine effort, Scott.
That's tough. 3rd and 11 right there, and you're running the option to the left side. It's almost throwing up the white flag. It's right there where you should be throwing it. You know, go to the drop back there, run a screen pass, run a reverse.
J.J. Moore back deep. Greg Patetto to punt for the midshipmen. He's averaged 37 yards per punt this afternoon. Gets that one away. Low line drive, returnable kick by Moore. Campbell sidesteps and Moore up the field for a couple. Zurban Singleton down on special teams to make the tackle for Navy. Time now for our 2nd installment this year of CSTV's new element, Name That Midshipman. Who is this? Scott Zolak.
I always say Brian Hampton. I said it last week. I said, I'm going to go with Mahoney today.
And Scott Zolak, ladies and gentlemen, give him the grand prize. He's our winner. Number 40 in your Navy program, David Mahoney.
Looks like him. They always try and trick me down there in that bus that they have, a trailer.
Here's Cohen on 1st down. Gives to Baylark. Baylark over the right side. He'll get up near the 49-yard line. It'll be a gain of 5 on 1st down. Sovey and Caldwell on the bottom of the pile for Navy. There you see David Mahoney. General science major out of Fort Myers, Florida, in Estero High.
This is a critical series for UMass. You're at the beginning of the 4th quarter. You're down by 4. They need to do something here. You can't allow yourself to give Navy the football back in maybe 9-8 minutes. Allow them to get a 10-play drive. Take 5 minutes off the clock. Then you're fighting an uphill battle.
2nd down and 5. Baylark left side. He is hit. Started to fall down a little bit. DeJuan Price came in. Knocked him down at the 49-yard line. It'll bring up 3rd down and 3.
No, you're right, Pete. Baylark was starting to go down. DeJuan Price, right place at the right time. It's just to give backside to Baylark, trying to follow the big tackle up inside, but you see DeJuan Price, he almost got out the back door.
DeJuan Price had a solid effort a week ago. There you see Buddy Green signaling in the defense. One-time D coordinator at NC State, former college coach of Terrell Owens. Cohen on 3rd down, slip screen, Moore gets it upfield, 1st down. Rob Caldwell and Sovey on the stop, but not before Moore gets to the Navy 42-yard line.
That's a great job by Moore, allowing his left tackle, Matt Austin, to get outside and kick the corner out. It's a quick, easy play fake for Cohen to the strong side, but watch the left side of the screen. You're going to see big Matt Austin come in right there. That's a good job by Moore, setting that up. Here's the ISO on Moore. Slip screen inside. You can see Austin coming up right there. Go Keenan Little. Picks it up the first down.
Moore hurt at the bottom of that pile right there, and he still is down on the field. We'll take a timeout. Navy leads it here 21-17. 12:28 to go in Annapolis on CSTV.
Before I started college courses, I charted these courses.
See, we're on course, on track.
Before I got my electronic business underway, I got these underway. Bridge, this is main control.
The Navy got me the money I need for college.
And gave me an accelerated course to my business.
Before I start my own practice out there, I'll get the practice I need here in the Navy.
Navy, accelerate your life.
The pressure is building, and a spot on the AVP Tour is still at stake.
Giving it all we got, that's not going to be a problem.
16 girls have become 8. The honor, the glory, it all comes down to this.
Your competitive spirit is what's going to put you on top.
Out here, there's only 2 options. Go pro or go home. Tomorrow at 8, only on CSTV.
It all begins here with a shot that wins the point.
What a rally!
That beats the team.
Another beauty.
That leads to a championship.
Their 9th tournament championship.
It all begins here on CSTV.
Oh, phenomenal action.
NCAA volleyball on CSTV. Watch the AVCA match of the week. Kansas versus Nebraska, Wednesday at 8, only on CSTV.
Wide receiver J.J. Moore, who was hurt on that last play, trying to walk it off down on the sidelines. 4 catches and 56 yards and a score here today in a reserve role as he took over for the suspended starter, Brandon London. Scott, nice effort.
Great job stepping up today. Like you said, 4 catches. That's a great average, and he had the big touchdown after the turnover.
1st and 10 for the Minutemen. Baylor running left side. Stood up at the 39-yard line. Not before he gains 3. It'll bring up 2nd down and 7. Larry Silk at the bottom of the pile for Navy.
UMass starting to mix things up. Excuse me. Steve Baylark in the game. Also, Matt Lawrence, number 32, another tailback playing the fullback position. A nice block on that play.
19 carries, 91 yards now for Baylark on the afternoon. You see big number 5, senior out of Apopka, Florida. We're in the same number, the great Marcel Shipboard, UMass. Cope on the quick hitter out here to the near side of the field. Caught by Omar. Omar down the sideline. And he'll take it to the 32 and should be close to, if not have, another UMass 1st down.
This quick hitter to Omar did a nice job on a sideline, tippy-toeing, keeping his balance. Take a look at Cohn. It's a quick fire outside. Get the ball into the receiver's hand as fast as you can. They're trying to do some perimeter blocking. Look at the balance, going down with the hand, picking up the 1st down. And that's what they're doing. They're moving the sticks right now. So another 1st down for UMass.
Give Don Brown credit. His quarterback had struggled 0 for 6. He's now hit 3 of his last 5, and many of them like that quick hitting.
Exactly. Now look for the play action, maybe a bootleg where they drag the tight end from the backside or try and get it to the fullback's hands. That just makes the game easier for him.
Getting a cup of water down there on a hot day here in Annapolis. 1st and 10 for UMass. At the 32, Tidwell goes across, says Hopkins moved. We'll see if the line judge bought it. ACC crew headed up by Tom Zamorski today.
There's no foul on the play.
Yeah. They wave it off.
Well, it was deceiving because you had 3 receivers to that side. They were not yet set. They were trying to get set, and so was the big right tackle, Chris Hopkins. He's trying to get set also. I mean, he's allowed to get down in his 2-point position. If he flinches in any way and draws Navy off, then it's a flag.
Going on the quick pitch. He's looking to throw down the field, and it is intercepted. DeJuan Price makes the pick. The pass out of the backfield. Thrown by number 28, Justin Montgomery, the senior out of Davie, Florida. But DeJuan Price makes the pick and comes down hurt.
Looks like he's writhing in pain. I mean, UMass trying to get cute again just when they have something going. Take a look and try and see what happened to DeJuan Price. but it's a halfback toss to the right. Right there, he should have ate it and just run out of bounds, but double covered, throws it into triple coverage. Here comes Dewan, and whether that left knee just gave out on him. I think it's his right knee.
The right knee
actually
sticks.
watch the right knee of Dewan Price. Down comes the left. And then right there, you can see it kind of buckle under him.
And this is a guy that's had a pretty solid start for Navy in that second.
That's a good sign right there, Pete.
Dewan Price has had terrific efforts from Buddy Green the last couple of weeks, and nothing more bigger than that. An interception right there to thwart a UMass drive.
Both sides, though. You see Steve Baylark sucking it up today, whether it's a left hamstring or whether it's cramps. Defensive players coming off to the side, and they continue to play.
Brian Hampton back in at quarterback for the midshipmen here as Paul Johnson returns to his starting signal caller. 1st and 10 from the 3. Hampton on the option, keeps it himself. Out to the 6, maybe the 7-yard line. Hit by George Bird, the linebacker. Let's take a look at the Navy picks today.
You say Liam Cohen, that's just a tough throw right there. 17-yard out to the open field. And this is just silly right here. Halfback option pass, something you didn't need. You're moving the football. It's your fourth quarter just started. You're down by 4, and you go to the halfback option pass.
Ryan Hampton picked up 4 on 1st down. Brings up 2nd and 6 from the Navy 7. There you see them working on Price on the sideline. Ballard bouncing off guys. Coming forward just short of the 10-yard line. Interesting that Paul Johnson goes back to Brian Hampton here in this situation.
Well, you hope you trust your senior, and you're facing a 3rd and 4. This is a critical down for Navy. Paul Johnson would like nothing better than have about a 13-play, 8-minute drive that ends in maybe a field goal or even points, or even if you don't score points, if you could take 8 minutes off this clock somehow, you know, this game does not play into UMass's hands then.
3rd down and 4 from the Navy 9. Hampton on the option, trying to go forward, dives ahead to the 13. He'll be very close to the 1st down. Right foot, left foot spot situation coming up here. There you see Annapolis looking over at the linesman to see
You
what
have
he
two different
thinks.
spots, one from the left linesman, and the guy on the right, he spotted about another yard short. So you're going to get a measurement here.
If it's over the 13, which it appears to be, that would seemingly be a 1st down.
Byron, you got the play?
But we'll see. Here Paul Johnson asking Byron McCoy, do you have the play as he sends him into the ball game? Stretch of the chains and a 1st down. By a little more than a ball, Paul Johnson going to change his mind now that he got a 1st down.
You see, this is where Brian Hampton, this is where he makes his money. He follows the big fullback up inside. Brian Hampton, in essence, is a glorified fullback playing a quarterback position. That's something that the other quarterbacks prior to him had. They were a little more quicker. They were able to throw the ball more. But this guy's just such a strong runner.
Under 10 to go. 1st and 10 for the midshipmen. Hampton again pulls it out. Plows his way forward. Gets up near the 18, maybe the 19-yard line. 4 o'clock here in the East, and a good one going on here in Annapolis at Navy Marine Corps Memorial Stadium. The midshipmen and the Massachusetts Minutemen, Pete Medhurst, Scott Zolak, Sheehan, Stanwyck, Birch down on the sidelines, and Navy leading it here by 4. Let's take a look at the go-ahead touchdown for the midshipmen.
Key play of the game for them right here. What a cutback right there. I mean, Paul Johnson going to his backup quarterback, allowing Inhada to pick and choose where he's running. He did a nice job until the one errant pitch that he had to Singleton, put it on his back shoulder. Other than that, he's played nicely.
Hampton ahead just across the 21-yard line, be a gain of a couple. Brings up 3rd down and 2.
Seems like they're trying to use Brian Hampton here to wear him down.
Similar to what we saw a week ago. Charles Walker in on the stop that time. Charles Walker had a good second half here for UMass. Number 11 for the Minutemen. Well, just short of the 22. 3rd and a little more than 1. Hampton puts Hines in motion. Keeps it himself after the fake to Ballard. Drops the football. UMass says they have it.
Wow.
And the officials will either agree or disagree, and they agree. So another turnover by Navy. And the midshipmen now have to go back on defense as UMass has created more havoc in Navy's ball handle.
Almost looks like a called play. You get the fake to Ballard up the middle, and you see the lead slot back coming up inside. Try and see if Brian Hampton's down at all here.
Wilner Alexis with the poke out there with the left hand from around the inside of Hampton.
Big 6'3", 255 sophomore.
Somerville, Mass. There you see the turnovers. Navy with 2 more than UMass. Cohen, the Baylor. Bounces left side, and Rob Caldwell says no.
That's a great play by Caldwell. That's a great read, sniffing it out, coming up, taking on the guard, then finding Baylor.
It's got Baylor not the easiest guy to tackle one-on-one, which is why that's even more of a good effort from Caldwell.
Because you watch the replay here, Pete, all of a sudden, if he could even sense this, he almost bounced that outside, and there was nobody at home for Navy. That's a big gain saver right there.
Bob Caldwell, who had double-digit tackles in 9 of 12 games a year ago for the midshipmen. Brings up second down and 10. The ball at the 23 for UMass. Down 4, 7:25 to go. Inside handoff, Baylock, and he's thrown down in the backfield. And Tyler Tidwell, who led the mids and stops for a loss a year ago, comes up with a big play right here.
When you ask what's the strong point of this Navy defense, the linebackers, Mahoney, Caldwell, Sovey, Tidwell. You even got a big play from Joe Silk. You know, they go in the shotgun right here, and it's almost like you're better off lining up in an eye, using a blocking fullback, but you look at Tidwell come in with the stop. That's just a great read on his part. You really didn't give Baylor a chance to get going.
Navy defense coming alive right here. On 3rd and long, Cohen underneath Baylor. Into the secondary, bouncing off tacklers, and finally knocked down inside the 20 at the 18-yard line. Now, if you're Don Brown here, are you thinking you got to get a touchdown now, or do you take the points and maybe kick a field goal?
It's a heck of a question, Pete. I mean, it's at this point in the game where they've really shot themselves in the foot. They've had opportunity after opportunity. Right here, I think I'd go for it. I mean, there's 6 minutes left in this game. If Navy gets it cranking offensively, you might not see the football again.
Yep. Copeland on the spot, the 26, a 36-yard field goal. He's made one from 37. Kick is on the way, and the kick is good. So UMass takes the points and will bank on their defense to get the football back. Navy leading it here by 1 in Annapolis. Football Nation on CSTV.
It's too small, car's too small.
Autoclaustrophobia. It's taken a devastating toll, but its days are numbered, thanks to the all-new Nissan Versa. Versa treats small car symptoms with best-in-class interior space.
Now this is roomy.
Versa lets you be carefree and hands-free with Bluetooth technology.
I like that.
Versa will help you take control of autoclaustrophobia today. Ask your Nissan dealer if Versa is right for you.
You're so cute.
Next on CSTV, it's one of college football's greatest rivalries as Colorado takes on Colorado State. Don't miss this Rocky Mountain showdown where CSU will come in hungry for revenge after the Buffs come from behind win last year. Watch Colorado versus Colorado State coming up next. Football is a way of life. Live it with CSTV.
Football is a way of life. Live it with CSTV.
Games, highlights, and insights on air and online.
Need a hand?
No, I need a new car.
Whoa, I see what you mean.
Aren't you the 1-800-BAR-NONE sock puppet?
Yours truly.
Could they help me?
Sure. If you need car financing, even if you have bad credit, 1-800-BAR-NONE could get you approved in minutes. Going up.
1-800-BAR-NONE? You can? I am? Really?
Need a car, not a tow? Then call 1-800-BAR-NONE.
Our hero.
Mommy, can we keep him? Everyone deserves a second chance. Bar none. Call now.
Navy midshipmen and the University of Massachusetts Minutemen locked in a good one here. Navy by 1. 555s on the clock here. Fourth quarter, Scott, as the mids now will go on offense, and Massachusetts is going to bank on its defense here to try and get the ball back.
Well, you need a big stop, and you just wonder, is he going to stick with Brian Hampton? Is he going to continue to play quarterback? You're going to go with Inhada? You know, maybe a little bit untested, maybe a little bit quicker. He could get to the outside. But you know what? The turnovers have been killing Navy in this football game. They can easily be up, 30 to 17 at this point.
Reggie Campbell, who has a 73-yard kickoff return in this game, back deep to receive, and he'll get another opportunity here. This time from the 7. Campbell across the 20. Gets it out to the 27-yard line. That's where Navy will have it 1st and 10, and turnovers of the day. Navy's Achilles heel on this Saturday afternoon.
Well, Paul Johnson's going to lose sleep tonight because this is an offense that's predicated on timing, on hitting, and you see Hampton right there just letting it go. And right here, put the ball on the ground. Sloppy play. It's not just one guy. Everybody's contributed. The quarterback's on the pitch. I mean, they run this continually in practice, every play. 76 plays last week. 70 plays on the ground, 6 through the air. You know, turnovers, 4 of them. It's not good if you're Paul Johnson right now and you're looking at this film.
And Paul Johnson puts Inhata back in at quarterback. Campbell in motion. They give to Ballard straight ahead. Ballard trying to keep the legs moving, gains a couple up near the 30. Charles Walker there, you see number 11. First hit for UMass. Brings up second and about 7.
That's one thing with Paul Johnson. You put the football on the ground, you're going to be coming out of the football game.
It's the one thing they practice most often, obviously, because they run that option. All of the ball handling mistakes today, keeping this game a little bit closer as we go under 5 here in the 4th quarter. Navy by 1. And Hodge drops the football, and I think he fell on it. And he did.
That's the second time this game with Inhata in there at quarterback where he's rid that fullback, meaning you're taking him up into the line of scrimmage. You watch him right here. He puts the football, and Adam Ballard doesn't know if I'm closing my top arm over it. He needs to decide that. He needs to be more decisive, get the ball in there, or keep it and get on the outside.
There you see Paul Johnson sending the play in. You can see the look of frustration on his face.
Well, it puts you in 3rd and 7 now as opposed to maybe 3rd and 3. Inhata 1 for 3, hit the big play to Tomlinson. You saw how the whole stadium erupted with the 1 pass completion.
McCoy in motion. Inhata has a man coming from the backside, throws it out here near side. Pass tipped at the line of scrimmage. Pressure was coming. Good blitz pickup by the mids, but the pass tipped and falls incomplete. And UMass banked on its defense. And Scott, they cashed in.
They cashed in, that's for sure, Pete. And that also stops the clock right there at 4:05. Incomplete pass. Now that the new rules changes with a change of possession, yeah, they will start a little bit earlier, but they could have taken that thing down to almost 3 minutes, even if they were going to punt.
Vitello on to kick for Navy. Gets the kick away. Low, long, more. And he's knocked down on special teams by Reggie Campbell, who sprints down to make a super play in the open field.
What's amazing how many guys not only go both ways, but they contribute on special teams.
3 minutes, 57 seconds to go. Navy and UMass. Navy with a 1-point lead on CSTV.
Energizer E² lithium batteries let you take up to 630 photos in digital cameras versus up to just 90 with leading ordinary alkaline batteries. Energizer E² lithium keeps going.
The United States Naval Academy, established in 1845, is the undergraduate college for the Navy. It prepares young men and women to become professional officers in the Navy and Marine Corps. A world-class faculty and small class size allow midshipmen to excel in any of the 19 majors offered. Upon graduation, they will be appointed ensigns in the Navy or second lieutenants in the Marine Corps. The Academy emphasizes the moral, mental, and physical education of midshipmen through character development programs that stress the highest ideals of duty, honor, and loyalty. Navy also has a rich history of athletic achievements in a variety of varsity sports. The United States Naval Academy is where America develops leaders who will serve the nation. It is where the core values of honor, courage, and commitment are nurtured, and where the vision of America's future is shaped.
UMass Minutemen down by 1, and that's what they face. Scott Zolak, 70 yards of open terrain away from an upset.
This is the place you want to be in if you're a quarterback, if you want to play big-time football. Liam Cohen, it's his big chance to step up right here and bring his team back.
Lawrence fumbles the football on 1st down, and Navy has the recovery. Tidwell picks up the football at the 25-yard line.
Trying to come outside. Lawrence here with the pickup. Looks like his right knee may have been down right there. I think it was Caldwell with the big hit, the big linebacker. That's a close one. If I'm Don Brown, you got to replay this.
Especially with time of the essence now at 3:42.
It's a big game. You're on the road. 1AA, possibly upset in 1A. They're going to have to get this call right.
And the question is if this is a challenge by Brown or if this is just being reviewed naturally upstairs here.
Take a look at the big linebacker, number 57, Rob Caldwell. He's coming from the middle of your screen, right over top. The left hand punches the ball out. It's just a question of whether or not Lawrence's right knee was down. Watch the right knee.
I think it's out. It's close.
That's the thing. Is there enough video evidence to overturn the call? If not, the call that's on the field is going to stand. One last look at it right here. Watch the right knee. It's tough to see from that angle.
There was conclusive video evidence to support the call on the field. There was a fumble. First down.
Nice job, camera crew.
That's 2 weeks in a row our guys have been right on the money with replays, giving you great shots.
Outstanding shots.
They're the most underrated guys in this business. They give you all the great pictures that you see right here on Football Nation on CSTV. 3:42 to go, 1st and 10. Navy with a big break here.
UMass loses the timeout with the replay. And I asked Paul Johnson this week if he likes the new changes. He says replay's good for the game. So you're going to get the full timeout here, but Paul Johnson likes the replay to get the call right, but he hates the change of possession where they start the clock. He says, hey, people want to see football. People want to see you play football. We noticed it. We have a lot less plays offensively, even though it seems like they had the ball a ton last week.
Here you see Paul Johnson working with his number 2 quarterback here. And they had great competition for that number 2 spot during the spring and in fall camp, or I should say summer camp, and Hada beating out guys like Troy Goss and Jared Bryant. Bryant, who got into the Poinsettia Bowl a year ago. One of these guys, though, has to take the bull by the horns here in this Navy quarterback position and handle the ball efficiently. That is the one thing that has hurt them here today.
Yeah, that's the last thing you want is inconsistency at the quarterback position, especially when they're the trigger man. They're the one that gets this option going. But you see Coach Brown right there talking to Hedabu. You know, he's going to have full-out responsibility to do a blitz whenever I think he feels like it. He's been very active in the backfield. Deflected one option pitch already today. He's had some good hits on the quarterback.
Great job. Nearly double digits in tackles. Been in the backfield all day. He's had a super effort. Hard to imagine that guy wasn't recruited out of high school. A walk-on here at UMass. Needs to come up with a big play here. And Hada follows Ballard through the hole. Gets down near the 20 as he is pushed back.
It's like UMass calling timeout, trying to stop the clock with 3:30 left. Possible fumble.
Referee puts his hand up, signaling it down, which is a sign that if it was a loose football,
so they were signaling. UMass players were signaling they thought there was a fumble, not a timeout. This is what Hampton was running last possession. You just fake it to the fullback and fall him up inside. Here we go. Possible another review, but no, if Navy gets up there and snaps it, it's not going to review.
And Hada gives to Ballard. Ballard behind Antron Harper on that right side, up to the 13. It'll bring up 3rd down and about 2. Somehow you feel if you're Paul Johnson, you just want to get away from this game, period.
Well, you got 2 timeouts left for UMass, so you wonder how are you going to use the clock? You got to at least give your offense a chance here. theoretically, Navy can pick up the first down and grind this thing out. Even this is why you asked me before, do you kick the field goal here or do you go for it? You know, I thought maybe you should have gone for it there. I think it was 6:42 left on the clock. You know, you go for the touchdown. You don't know if you're going to get the ball back.
On third down, Ballard trying to keep the legs moving, and he does. Down across the 15 to the 14-yard line, and he'll have a Navy first down.
That's a backbreaker right there. UMass needed to come up with the stop.
And it was no guarantee that Navy was going to, even if they stopped and get a field goal out of that, because remember, they're using their backup kicker today, Matt Harmon.
You know, they really wear these fullbacks out, but that's what you do in this option offense. If there's no blocking in front of you, and like there was not right there for Adam Ballard, he carried 4 players with him to pick up the first down.
So UMass calls a timeout. They have 1 remaining at the 2:17 mark. Scott, we talked about Don Brown's efficiency against Rhode Island when they run a similar system. You have to give UMass a lot of credit today. You can tell that they're well-versed in this offense. Navy's rushing today at 252 yards on the ground and only 273 overall. That was after they ran for 400 a week ago.
And you take the big Matt Hall run out of there, that 52, 53-yarder, then that really comes down under 200. So there was a lot of havoc in that backfield today, but like you said, you credit Don Brown because he faced it before, Georgia Southern back in 98, back in 99, the 98 championship game. And he faced Rhode Island. Rhode Island in the A-10 runs a similar type of offense. So it's not like they haven't seen it before. And they really have the athletes on the outside, guys like Yehedabu and Hatchell, the 2 Hatchell brothers. So they could get the job done. And they're just going to go back, watch this film if they lose this football game. I say if, there's still 2 minutes left. But they had multiple opportunities. Seems like certain times in the game offensively they got maybe a little too cute.
There you see the updated numbers. UMass at 290, Navy at 284. 21 yards passing today as opposed to last week when Navy had 6.
Yeah, 15 yards better.
That's an
Just
improvement.
improve it every week.
Step in the right direction. And by the way, interestingly enough in this game, even though it's 1A versus 1A, it's one of those cases where UMass has 63 scholarships at their disposal today against a team in Navy who has 0 athletic scholarships. One of the few times UMass will have more than an opponent in 1A. Inhada gives to Ballard. That was interesting as Inhada maybe hit Ballard's legs as he was trying to execute the handoff.
Either that or he got stepped on by the guard. Usually the guards that are firing out, sometimes you don't fire out forward. Your first step is backwards, right into the quarterback's feet.
There you see Jason Leonard. You got to give a huge tip of the cap today to UMass's defensive front. Those guys have played a super ball game.
Active.
Alexis, Leonard,
it's a tough game because you got to rely on your responsibilities when you face the option. That's what Navy wants you to do.
2nd down and 6 from the 10. Again, it's Ballard as Navy plays it safe with the simple handoff at 1:31, and UMass will expend its final timeout. 1:31 to go. Earlier in the ball game, Scott, we talked about it. What a memorable game it was in terms of 1AA championship games. These 2 coaches hooking up. Paul Johnson at Georgia Southern.
He had some great backs there, man. You talk about guys like Adrian Peterson, who's now playing for the Chicago Bears. They really get this thing going down at Georgia Southern. I did the Furman game down there in the playoffs, and it's a different level of 1AA football. 55-43, like you called the score earlier in the game, Pete. Do you think they would still get it in 3 hours?
No. That would have been a long one. There you see Don Brown, who was the defensive coordinator on that team. And we talked with Paul Johnson and Don Brown, and both of them ironically said the one thing they remembered from that game was the amount of turnovers that both squads had in that football game. And you still had a 55-43. And imagine though, but Marcel Ship, Adrian Peterson in that game, 2 of the top 1AA ball carriers of all time.
Just big kids. But you see both these coaches really working their sideline, really into the game. So many times during college football, you see coaches that take off the headset and allow coordinators just to operate the game and have total faith in them. But these guys are on top of it. Don Brown, Paul Johnson, they've done a fantastic job at both schools.
Tell you what, I'd like to have a ticket for UMass New Hampshire in the A-10 this year. That is going to be a barn burner as they are 2 of the top teams in that league this season.
I'd like to be in film sessions at Navy tomorrow to see what Paul Johnson's going to talk about with his offense as far as the turnovers.
Inhada on 3rd down and 6. Fakes the quick pitch, comes out left side, stays in bounds, and he is wrapped up quickly as he gets down to the 9-yard line. Good play there by George Bird, the sophomore out of Naples, Florida.
Yeah, good job by Tracy Belton, the defensive back, staying at home.
So Paul Johnson will let the clock run. The play clock has not started yet. Once it does, I'm sure they'll let it run down to 1 and call a timeout.
Yeah, they're winding it up right now.
Now, Paul Johnson elects to go field goal. Remember, his backup kicker, Matt Harmon, is kicking today. It would be his first collegiate attempt coming up here. Joey Bullen out with a strained groin.
Still some confusion with the clock. Paul Johnson alerting the linesman.
And now we will get the timeout with 38 seconds to go here in this football game. So Navy with a 1-point lead. Paul Johnson will talk whether it will be a field goal here, or he's asking Buddy Green, if I go for it, do you think your defense can hold him off in 30 seconds?
Buddy Green's correct answer should be yes.
Let's take a look at what lies ahead for the midshipmen. Next week, a trip to Stanford, first game in their new stadium, and then Tulsa, the Golden Hurricane of Steve Cragthorpe. You'll see it here on CSTV Football Nation. That's going to be a dandy here on the 23rd.
Very interested to see that one right there, that UConn game. Randy Edsel doing a nice job at UConn.
Randy with a local product. Terry Cawley out of Patuxent High, back in the lineup after sitting out with some injuries in his career. And then right after that, they have the Air Force game.
With the brigade finally having some fun.
Haven't had a whole lot today. And kind of like you heard Paul Johnson talk about when he went off with Sheehan at halftime. They needed a little bit of energy. And until Reggie Campbell's kickoff, there really wasn't a whole lot of energy for Navy in this game. Paul Johnson, the answer to the question is, we're going to try the field goal. Out of a Brian Hampton hold, the spot is the 17. A 27-yard field goal attempt. The first of Harmon's career. Kick is on the way, and he missed it. Wow. Didn't push it over far enough. And from the near hash mark now, Buddy Green's defense will have to hold UMass without a field goal, because a field goal for UMass is all they need to get a lead and a victory here.
Well,
35 seconds.
There. You kick the field goal, it takes the field goal out of the equation, and it forces UMass to go probably 80, 85 yards and have to score a touchdown. Now they got to drive it, about 60.
And with a decent kicker, who's made 2 today. Liam Cohen will go to the shotgun. Remember, the clock starts now on the change of possession, already on the move. Cohen to Story. Catches it, no, incomplete. They wave it off on the far side. Down to 24 seconds remaining in the game. And again, there is a case where the new rule came into effect immediately there. As soon as Cohen got on the field and they blew it in, the clock had already started and run 5 seconds before Cohen got that play.
Exactly. And don't forget, you lost the timeout because you lost the ruling.
Survival is what Paul Johnson is looking for, as you saw his concerned look on the sideline. 2nd down and 10. Cohen back. Tidwell pressures, and it's underthrown, incomplete, as he was trying to get the football to Mike Omar.
That's a good job by Tidwell, applying the pressure right there, forcing Cohen to step up in the pocket. May have hit his arm there. Sitting in the pocket. You see he's looking downfield, and watch him coming right there. So I think he just nipped the ball. At some point, you got to take a shot with Rancher here. He's your big guy, 6'5".
Stats are limited here. You'd like to get outside the hash marks with the receptions because you have no timeouts and 20 seconds remaining. Cohen gonna roll to his left, looking that way. Pressure from Adams coming on, throws it, and it's caught by Moore. He is out of bounds. That'll stop the clock at the 26-yard line with 14 seconds to go, but more importantly, it'll be 4th down and 4 yards to go.
Exactly, and Navy did a good job right there getting pressure, rushing only 3. They're dropping back in a prevent defense. So you got 8 back, and you're only rushing 3.
So 4th down and 4 at the 26. More importantly, only 14 seconds to go. So UMass needs to get something going up the field.
And it's a shot play right here, meaning you need 2 shots. You need to at least get it to the Navy's 45, 40-yard line. So you need 1 big play there, then hope you set it up to where you get a shot to get a Hail Mary.
Navy's Keetrick Buffin is 24 yards away, but it doesn't matter as the pass falls incomplete. Off the pads of J.J. Moore. turnover over to Navy, and Liam Cohen and Massachusetts' upset bid will fall short here this afternoon.
UMass just looking to pick up the first down. It's an easy little slant route right there, and Cohen just puts it too far out in front. Well, he's kind of looking at the defender. A little bit of alligator arms right there going inside.
So Paul Johnson
going to get hit. Might as well catch it anyway, Pete.
Absolutely. And for a guy like Moore, who really has earned more playing time with a decent effort here today, unfortunately doesn't catch that last one. Navy doesn't have to run a play because with the new rule, the clock starts on change of possession. Paul Johnson will go shake hands with Don Brown. On a job well done, hug Steve Baylark, who we tried to recruit to Georgia Southern, and Navy survives here. 6 wins gets them to the Meineke Car Care Bowl. They pick up win number 2 here, 21-20 against the Minutemen of the University of Massachusetts.
I think the big word you used today was survival. Navy, you feel good to get out of this game. Yeah, it's a win, a win's a win. But when you look back, they've got to play cleaner. It's the option attack. That's what you're relying on. You're not going to get to the point where you come back in games and you know you're not going to be able to throw the football this year. So you need to be hitting on all cylinders with that option. It needs to be crisp. So I'm sure Paul Johnson, we're working on it this week. But you and I talked to both these coaches throughout the week, and they knew it was going to be one heck of a football game. UMass really stepped up to the occasion defensively. I thought they played the option really well. This Hedabu kid, he is a heck of a football player for 1AA. And we talked a little bit about in the open. There's not a huge drop-off when you talk about some of these very good programs in 1AA. When you start to play teams maybe teetering around 25-30 in the country, like Navy is.
And when you talk about when Paul Johnson tries to sell people every week, there's not a whole lot of difference between his team and others. This is a perfect indication of that. If they don't execute, that's exactly what happens. As always, we throw it downstairs for the playing of the Navy blue and gold. Naval Academy alma mater. Brigade of Midshipmen, 4,000 strong. Happy today as the Mids survive the bid from the Minutemen of UMass. Navy 21, Massachusetts 20. Back in a moment on CSTV.
Just fight your acne, cure it. Nature's Cure, the only 2-part acne treatment that fights acne from the inside and outside, with a version for males and females. Nature's Cure tablets work on the inside, stimulating your body's own defenses. Nature's Cure cream works on the outside. Benzoyl peroxide kills the bacteria that cause pimples.
It helps from the inside.
I'm very happy with the results because my face doesn't look like a pizza pie.
It's a lot of improvement for the money you spend.
2 steps, 2 formulas, and you can have clearer skin in 2 weeks with no side effects.
It works by attacking the 2 primary causes of acne, both internal causes and external bacteria growth.
You look younger, I've heard that, and that's the best thing to hear.
The treatment both clears breakouts and prevents them, so you can stop acne before it starts. Nature's Cure is available everywhere. Also look for our new body acne spray.
Available everywhere, including Target. For a store near you, call 1-800-874-1812 or order at buythecure.com.
Next on CSTV, it's one of college football's greatest rivalries as Colorado takes on Colorado State. Don't miss this Rocky Mountain showdown where CSU will come in hungry for revenge after the Buffs come from behind win last year. Watch Colorado versus Colorado State coming up next. Football is a way of life. Live it with CSTV.
When I do it, I feel the blood rushing through me, and I keep going back for more.
Carmen Castillo is under the influence of Dana, her volunteer trainer.
Come on, let me see you show shit.
By spending just 1 day a week with kids like Carmen, Dana helps them develop interests that keep them away from drugs. Be a coach, a mentor, a volunteer, because you have something to offer.
Skillets, axes, spittoons, a garage sale? Try the crown jewels of football nation.
Football is a way of life. Live it with CSTV.
My job takes me to water projects in 17 states, but I earned my degree online in just 26 months.
I became a more effective teacher, and I earned a promotion.
I'm a single mother and a busy professional, but I earned my MBA in just 2 years.
My instructors and classmates were all very experienced. The University of Phoenix is a real-world education.
Call 1-800-477-6402.
You know, ideas and inventions come from people in all walks of life. Do you have an idea for a new product or invention? If so, InventHelp has information to help you get started. InventHelp is America's largest inventor service firm. Call and learn how to try to submit your idea to companies through InventHelp's databank and apply for a patent. Even if your idea is just to improve an existing product, call for InventHelp's free information.
For your inventor's information, call 1-800-223-6900.